Hey, Nick.
Hey, Tys.
How are you, man?
I am really good, buddy.
That is awesome.
How are you?
You know what?
Are you good?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah,
great.
you're good?
Yes.
Good.
This is Nick, Tys and Videotape.
Welcome, people.
Welcome back to another episode. Episode number...
19.
19. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, seriously.
Episode 19?
Yeah, do we do like a 20th anniversary special?
No, we've got to... We'll do a special for... We'll do a 25th episode special. Why not?
25th anniversary special?
Put together a little clip package.
Oh, yeah?
Best bits of the last 25 episodes.
Nick, Tys saying, fuck, no, I'm not doing that. Like all those, and Nick laughing and going, yeah, it's a little controversial.
Yeah, I'll put together a little package of your controversials. I think that will go down very well.
Or just a laughing montage.
Yeah, that'll
I
work
laugh
well.
way too much, yeah.
Well, yes, welcome to the show. Episode 19, motherfuckers.
Welcome, people.
Welcome to everybody. Where can people find us on the webs?
On the webs,
Nick?
people. If you would like to join us on social media, or just to the reason that we do it is we put up what's coming up next. I like to put up posters that aren't just floating heads.
Yeah, we put up some posters.
Yeah.
We put up some of our recommendations for the week.
Yeah, what we've talked about a little bit. Yeah. So we do that on all
occasional little extra bits and pieces if we stumble across something online that we like and we want to share it with our listeners.
Your Logan last week.
Did you watch that?
Nice. Yeah, it was
Fuck,
nice.
it was good, man.
Really good.
That guy is real smart.
Real smart.
Real fucking smart, that dude. If you go through and watch his videos, there's no he doesn't need us to plug in, but his name's Nerd Writer.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Every one of his videos, they're amazing.
Genius.
And he's got this vocal delivery that I just adore.
Yeah.
I might just be a sucker for it,
That's
but
true.
I do enjoy it.
But yes, people, if you would like to see these weird things that we put up, we are on any social media. We're on
all.
We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You can, and if you would like to write us a letter, or you would like to discuss, write us a letter. I like writing a letter.
God,
I'm
that'd
too
be so
old.
good. I'd love to see a handwritten letter
God.
arrive at my door that was to
That'd
Nick,
be
Tys and
weird.
Videotape. Also, I'd wonder how the fuck they found my
Yeah,
address.
seriously, yeah.
And I'd have to move.
But no, don't write us a letter. Email us at nicktysandvideotape@gmail.com.
That's it.
And you can find us if you would like to. If a friend has sent you this, or you should if you have a friend that's recommended you to Nick Tys and Videotape, you can find us on any place you find podcasts.
Yeah.
But the main one is
specifically
iTunes.
on the iTunes store where you can rate and review us.
Yeah, man. It helps a bunch.
Chuck those 5 stars up there.
Do it.
And make people like us.
Or just share us around.
Or share us
Tell
around.
your mum.
Aww,
Tell your dad.
Mums
Tell your
will love
brother.
it. Brothers will love it.
Brothers will
Mums
love it.
maybe not.
Does your brother listen to this?
I think he's listened to the occasional episode.
My brother likes the YouTube version.
Oh, he's the one
He's
person
the one person that
likes
likes the YouTube.
Yeah, I will
YouTube
put
one.
more of those episodes up. At,
We're getting there, Dan. We're getting there, don't worry.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, man, let's talk some trailers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking
Trailers. Okay, we're back.
Thank you to ourselves for our little interlude.
I still do know.
And
In my head is
Nissen? Is that his name? Nielsen.
Nielsen. Yeah.
Nielsen? No, that's the car.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Nielsen, for
Totally.
your wonderful pipes.
Do you want to go first, Tys?
Yeah, look, I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'm going to talk about...
What trailer did you watch, Tyson? Was it good?
It was real good. It's actually it's a trailer. It's the second trailer for a movie I saw a trailer for a while ago and forgot about and never thought to mention.
Oh.
And I'm sad that I didn't bring it up then. Well, actually, it doesn't matter because I get to bring it up now. And I've already forgotten. No, here it is. And the title's a little generic, so I keep forgetting it.
Is it Baywatch?
No, it was not Baywatch. Baywatch got canned.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Well,
That's a shame.
You know.
I like The Rock and I like Zac Efron. So
Look, I like The Rock.
maybe I'll like that movie. No, it's a movie called The Little Hours. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
Now, this seems to me like it is right up my alley. We have Alison Brie. We have Dave Franco.
I love Alison Brie.
We have Aubrey Plaza. We have John C. Reilly. We have Molly Shannon. We had Fred Armisen.
Wow.
We have Nick Offerman. Adam Pally. This seems like it is going to be
a funny movie.
Quite potentially my favourite movie of the year.
That is a big statement, Tyson.
Because I love these people. Like
Right.
these are, when you have to pick out like your favorites, these are some of my favorites who
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, I would watch. We talked about this. Molly Shannon could be in anything. She makes every movie better.
Really?
Anyway, it's called The Little Hours. It appears to be a comedy.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's full parody or if it's just kind of taking the situation and finding the funny in it.
Okay.
But Aubrey Plaza, Alison Brie, and someone called Kate McCucci, who I was unaware of before this, play 3 nuns
Right.
living in a convent.
Uh-huh.
Except they are essentially bad nuns. Like, so
Okay, so
that
they're
would be the
they're
ultimate
nuns?
title of this
Okay,
movie.
right.
Bad nuns. The same way, like, you've got bad teacher, you've got bad mums. This
Sure.
is bad nuns.
Bad nuns.
And they are just potty-mouthed
Right.
trash bags
They
who
drink
just
a-
happen.
drink a
they
bunch.
drink, they try
Yeah.
to shag dudes.
Right.
They swear. They just get up to all kind of antics.
Sound
They
like my
just
kind of
happen
girls.
to be nuns.
Right.
And Fred Armisen and John C. Reilly are the priests
Right.
at the convent, and Dave Franco appears to be some kind of like
Is he
workman,
a gardener?
Yeah,
Yeah!
I think a gardener maybe.
I can
who
pick it.
They're all trying to
That's
like
hilarious.
lust
They're going to
after.
shag him, yeah.
It seems fucking hilarious. There are moments in the trailer that make me laugh out loud.
Yep.
One of my favorite moments of the trailer was, when they have like the moments from critics and stuff,
okay,
and it's
yeah.
like,
When they pull up the
hilarious,
stars and-
blah blah blah. This was,
Yeah.
a
Rolling
riot
Stone
or whatever.
says that it's awesome.
They have one from the Catholic League or something, and
Yeah.
it just says this is a travesty or something.
Nice.
I'm like, great,
Use it.
perfect.
Use it.
As
Yep.
if you weren't going to put that in your trailer.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
Bring it on.
Yeah. I'm all about it. Watch the trailer. You'll have a good laugh. I think there's a Red Band trailer around where they get a bit filthier.
Nice.
And that was the first one I saw. That was really funny. This one is still funny. There's some
Yeah.
great moments to be had.
I do love Brie, Alison Brie, and I do love Fred Armisen and Nick Offerman. Look. You know how are there actors out there, Tice, that if they do a movie you just won't see it no matter how good it looks?
Oh, I'm
Is
sure
that-
there are. Yeah,
because
but
Aubrey
I can't bring one of
Aubrey
mine.
Plaza is up there.
Oh, really?
She's in the top 2.
Wow.
Yeah, if she's in it, I'm not going to see it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple because I wasn't like a huge Office
Yeah.
fan, so
Uh-huh.
I missed that. No, not Office, Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
So I never really kind of had that to
Counter.
associate her
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
I've just seen a couple of movies that I really like her energy in, and I like
Well, she's in
like her style of comedy.
She's in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, she's
and
great,
I do love
She's
that
in
movie.
Mystery Team, which is one of my favorite little unknown gems.
Yeah.
With Donald Glover before he was Donald Glover.
Okay.
No.
So can you name one off the top of your head if there's an actor in it? No, nothing. It's
No.
because you're too nice, Tyson.
Maybe. I'm sure if something popped up and I'd be like,
my
"Oh,
friend Tice is
I
too
hate that
nice.
person."
I want that on a t-shirt.
That would not sell well.
No, it'd be all right.
But yeah, Little Hours.
Little
See, I
Hours?
keep forgetting the title because it's so fucking generic. It's
Yeah,
the worst
it
thing
is.
about it.
It needs to be Bad
The
Nuns.
Little Hours.
Call it Bad Nuns.
No, I'm so glad they didn't call it Bad Nuns. Could you imagine? Another one of these fucking bad something or others.
Yeah, bad teachers. Bad teacher.
It was
bad
just
mums.
bad teacher, bad mums.
Do you know
bad
Bad Mums is
neighbours.
going to have a sequel? Bad Dads.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
Bad Santa. Did it start with Bad Santa? Is that the first
I think
one?
it did start with. Did it start with Bad Santa?
Maybe.
I think it did.
That's the only one that's actually kind of clever too.
Bad Santa?
Yeah,
Really?
calling something Bad
It wa-
Santa
yeah.
is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Everything
Bad
else-
Teacher isn't a title
that's
for a
not-
film.
no, it's
it's two
nothing.
words chucked together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a bad teacher. What are we going
Great.
to call it?
We're going to call it Bad Teacher.
Some guy in the
Wow.
corner was like, just call it Bad Teacher.
Jeff, you rad bastard. That's a great,
Yeah,
great
you
idea.
earned your fucking paycheck, buddy.
Well,
Anyway, get on it. Watch the trailer at least because it's really funny.
Little Hours, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What about you, man?
Well, I watched a different trailer. I watched
Yes, I would assume so.
Wind River. Tyson.
Wind River.
Did you watch this?
No, this sounds ridiculous.
It does, doesn't it?
It either sounds like, can I have a go at
Oh,
what
go.
I think it might be about?
Oh, go on.
Is it Oscar Beatty? Sounds Oscar Beatty.
No.
Okay.
No, not Oscar.
Wind River.
No, it does sound Oscar Beatty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind River.
And the nominees for Best Picture,
Exactly.
Wind River. No, you lose.
It's not a
It's not-
serious drama.
No, it's a thriller.
Oh, all right.
Okay, and what caught me was this. If you were to look at this, if you were to say the synopsis, which I'm not going to,
Okay.
this would sound boring as hell.
Sure.
Like it's literally just, and I'll say it quick because I kind of have to, but it's an FBI agent who's called to a murder investigation.
Sure.
That's all you need to know.
it.
Like it's all the best parts of a whodunit. It's a thriller, kind of very dangerous, but it's by the writer.
Mm-hmm.
The director is you'll probably know Tyson, Taylor Sheridan. What did he write?
Yeah. Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water and Sicario.
Yeah.
But he, so that's what pulled me in. That's what you first see. So he wrote and directed this. But it's just got a really nice, it's Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen.
Good cast.
Yeah.
Reunion.
Yeah, reunion. So it's Elizabeth Olsen is the FBI agent. And Jeremy Renner is the...
Maybe one of my absolute favourite moments in that movie in Age of Ultron was the bit where he's like...
I've got a
none
bow and arrow.
None of this makes sense. There's robots coming at us everywhere. You got magic powers and I've got a fucking bow and arrow.
And I've got a bow and arrow. Yeah, that's Joss.
Like,
that was beautiful
moment.
Joss right there, yeah. But yeah, and Renner plays the sheriff of the town that it happens in. Now, it happens in it seems like very northern Canada, sort of
Northern Exposure.
Yeah, I wish, but it has a very
Northern Canada.
Yeah,
so almost like at the very tip, so it's very snow,
and that's the point.
country.
Snow is everywhere.
Yeah.
You see when the woman dies at the start, who they're investigating the murder of. She is running into white snow and freezes. And
Wow.
she's running from something clearly.
Yeah. Supernatural thriller?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So it has because it has a bit of a True Detective Sicario, a bit of a... Did you ever see The Killing, the TV series?
I did not.
It was beautiful. So the best thing I loved about The Killing was it was a crime TV show, but it was based around one murder. All of these things happen around one murder, and that's what the feel I got from this from this trailer.
Okay, cool.
So it's really dark, a bit of Native American feel in there as well.
What does the title refer to?
Wind River is
that the name of the place?
Yeah,
that's less exciting.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I'm out.
Yeah. No, I'm still in. Still in. Hell or High Water was definitely good enough to get me in for the next one for him.
Yeah, see, Hell or High Water was good. I just wish
really
it wasn't Oscar nominated because it would have been better had it not
You
been
reckon?
Oscar nommed. Yeah.
I think because it was kind of the underdog at the Oscars because it only got supporting actor, screenplay, and then picture. So to me, that makes it like the gritty underdog that still made it in. And
it wasn't Oscar picture worthy though, was
I
it?
think so, yeah.
It was
I
good.
think
I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying it wasn't that
I'd say, I haven't seen a whole bunch of them yet.
Yeah.
I'm still missing a few, but I think it might be my second favourite of the ones that I saw.
What?
Yeah, I
the ones that you've seen.
really
Fair
liked
deal.
it. I
Fair
really
deal.
liked
Fair
it.
deal. But yeah, Wind River.
All right.
I'm in. I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I
like Jeremy Renner a lot.
Yeah.
Despite
Elizabeth Olsen, man, she's just she's getting better and better and better. Have you seen Martha May Marlene?
No, I have not.
Man, that's good.
I've heard that's great. That's John Hawkswatch.
John Hawkswatch.
I love John Hawkswatch.
Yeah. Really nice look at what happens in a cult.
A nice look.
Let's change that. An in-depth look of what happens in a cult. I don't know what happens in a cult.
It's just a pleasant little watch.
Yeah.
About a cult.
What did you watch this week, Tys?
Oh, what did we watch this week? I'm excited about this one, man.
Oh, you watched something
What did we watch this week? Yes, I did watch something exciting.
What did you
watched
watch?
Split. So I've been so
Tyson,
excited
welcome.
to finally talk about Split. I loved Split, despite, regardless of
what we can't talk about.
What we can't talk about yet.
Yep. Regardless of that, yes, it was an awesome movie.
I fucking loved it.
A nice cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. It reminded me a lot of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
I think it had a very
one.
similar energy. I mean, despite it obviously sharing kind of similar plots.
Yeah. No, it was a different movie though.
I think it captured that same anxiety level in me. That same kind of, because James McAvoy could become any of these personalities at any point.
Yeah.
I think it carried a really excellent tension level, because even while he was talking as like one of the less threatening ones,
Yeah, sure.
like the kid
or the female. Well, she wasn't that.
the nice girl. There was a nice girl, but there was also the designer, the one that did the drawings.
That's
and stuff.
right,
Barry,
yeah.
Barry, the one that was essentially the owner of the mall.
Yeah.
So even when he was talking as them, you could feel the anxiety of maybe one of the other ones breaking through.
There was that, wasn't there?
And so
Yeah.
it had, for me, it had that same tension level that 10 Cloverfield Lane had whenever they were in situations
John
with
Goodman,
John Goodman,
man.
where
Jesus,
he could
that
turn
dinner
at a
table.
dime. I thought it was. I thought the performances of the girls were excellent, especially the lead girl, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
Is that her name?
I think so.
She was excellent. And I have yet to see Witch, but I am.
Oh,
It's
really?
jumped straight up to the top of my
Oh,
list because
wow.
of that. Now, I was always excited about it, but having seen her in this and being like, wow, she's really got something. James McAvoy, though, God,
How good dude,
outrageously good.
how good was that?
He
But yeah,
is
there was.
so good.
Just to go back a little bit on what you said, you were waiting for him just to lose it and to kind of go extreme violence, but because that happened to some extent, but you were kind of, it was always there throughout the movie. Because
It was always the threat of it that
Yeah.
that I found like just
intense,
so
and that was all
intense.
due to just McAvoy's performance.
Yeah, I think
all of
it's
There was no trickery.
such a
that
great
was all
casting
him.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, and M.Night Shyamalan is
back in town.
really back in town. And do you know what I was really thrilled about too is that it felt like one of his movies again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like
Well, he
I've
stopped remaking stuff.
But even that, like, you watch something like The Happening, and it's like somebody doing a parody of him. It's all the surface quality of his films with none of the stuff that actually makes it work.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
someone
like someone's
going.
forcing his hand. Like the
Yeah,
studio's
it's someone
kind of
going, oh, I know how to
pushing
make a
him.
Shyamalan
Yeah.
movie. It's this. It's these kind of shots. It's this and
Yeah.
this and this, and there it is. But it's missing that touch
The
that
essence.
he had for those
Yeah.
first 3.5 movies. Yeah, I feel like it was there. It was totally there. I felt like I was watching, early days Shyamalan, except for the sense that you could feel the budget in this. You could feel that it was smaller budget and that it felt a bit more indie,
Which is fine.
But he did such a good job by isolating the locations, so it never felt like
Exactly.
it was a budgetary reason why it stayed in those few locations.
God, that was good.
Loved it. When can we talk about?
I was just thinking
When
that.
can we talk
I was
about
thinking about that. I say episode.
What if we do just a spoiler warning now, and I'll put a little time code in and say spoilers for Split. If you don't want to,
We're talking about it now.
if you don't want to know spoilers for Split, skip ahead for however long.
Oh no! I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
We'll give people. Hang on. We'll give people a little bit more time. When did it come out?
It's been a year.
Oh, it's been a year.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about it.
All
Put
right.
it in.
I'll put the spoiler warning in. Spoiler warning, we're going to spoil Split.
We're going to spoil Split, people. So please,
If you haven't seen it, check the time
just-
code. I will
yep.
put a little link in saying where
we've stopped.
where we're going to stop talking
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, but from right now,
From right now, spoilers.
Tyson.
Remember when I was talking about secret prequels a couple of
it was
a
on my
month ago?
tip. I'm pretty sure I had seen it by then.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Secret fucking
Tyson, I
sequel
need
to
yeah.
one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I knew it had a relationship to it because it's unavoidable.
Right,
Like the
right.
internet is such a vast, huge
it's going to get
place
spoiled for you.
that
yeah.
well, I managed to avoid the actual spoiler, but I knew.
Oh, you knew?
I knew that there was a
Tys.
relationship between Split and Unbreakable in some way.
Okay.
Didn't know the true ins and outs of it. I didn't really know how much. I didn't know if it was like a spiritual sequel, like 10 Cloverfield Lane is to Cloverfield, like that kind of energy.
Yeah, totally.
So...
But yeah, the fact that Bruce Willis rocks
actually
up
seeing Bruce Willis in the end of this, in the last scene.
In the trench coat, like in the coat.
As David Dunn.
And you were like, oh, it blew... I jumped out. I literally jumped off my seat.
It was so wonderful. It was one of those moments that I was just so thrilled. Because it just opens the door. Because Unbreakable has had that... it's a cult following. Do a lot of people know about Unbreakable? Sure.
It's not that big. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think...
So I feel that...
I think a lot of people have watched it, but there is not perhaps the understanding of... For the people that haven't seen it, I think it's more about... what was that movie about? No. Whereas for superhero fans and stuff like that, we know it's the...
Exactly.
It's the deconstruction of the genre we love. It's like the reality show version of the show we love.
Yeah. So M.Night wrote Split after Unbreakable. So he's been sitting on it for
I read that he even wanted to put the character in Unbreakable.
Exactly. So what he's done
he might actually be. He might be a kid.
Yeah.
A young person that is getting beaten by his mother. In Unbreakable might actually be James McAvoy now.
Yeah. So
all this shit.
And M.Night has sat on this and has now brought it out to be, in the massive superhero fest that we are in.
Yeah.
He's brought it out
and
at a beautiful time.
He's done it. He's done what Unbreakable did as well. So Unbreakable, we knew what it was. We knew that it was essentially like a superhero film, but without the glitz and glamour.
Exactly.
So we go into
massive action
and
sequences,
and it's beautiful. Like it really is. It's wonderful. But now we're in this really like saturated market. Yeah. And he's managed to put out a film without anyone even knowing. That it was a sequel
to Unbreakable.
His superhero film. Like, it's the marketing on it is out of control clever. And the fact that they didn't let it slip, I get so happy when I hear about this shit.
So to put it into perspective, he has made the superhero movie and then he's done the villain movie.
Yeah.
That's what the sequel is to Unbreakable.
And it's funny because even just the subtle mentions of, from the psychiatrist character.
Betsy?
Maybe. I can't.
Are you looking for
the actress's name is... anyway.
Betsy Buckley.
Betsy Buckley, thank you. And she lets these little moments slip of... That it is... No, it's not just about... This isn't just psychology. This is... We're talking about, something superhuman. And I was kind of in my head, I was like, okay, we're getting there. I think, and the whole way I was like, I didn't know it was going to be directly related. As I was getting these little bits of information, it was starting to kind of dawn on me. I was like, am I watching a villain origin story? Is this what...
A villain's
origin story. This is amazing. This is so fucking great.
Why we haven't had one of these.
And it was so... great anyway. Like, you didn't need it. It would have been a really effective
It could have ended and you would have still would have loved it.
But they've ended up making... And it's really funny because now we have Mr. Glass, who is the Lex Luthor to Superman. Like, in no way the physical threat, but the mental challenge.
Yeah.
And now we have... The Doomsday, essentially. The physical threat.
Yeah.
The guy that gets shotgun blasts, but because he is so... His personalities have so much control over his physicality...
It doesn't actually affect him.
It actually doesn't hurt him. And I love... Oh, my God. I loved how they just kind of dropped in the little moments of that with the story of the one personality that has diabetes and stuff.
Yeah.
And how it's like, no... That person, that body will die because it believes it has diabetes.
Yeah.
Every other personality, fine.
Will still live.
Will still be fine.
Yeah.
And so it adds that level of believability that, yes, there is one personality that thinks that they are superhuman.
Yeah.
And the way McAvoy even physicalized it, he looked bigger.
Yeah,
like
he looked
was
massive.
he was
He
able
looked-
to
yeah.
just expand his own like chest and stuff. It was so fucking
It was
effective.
so good. Him climbing up the wall, like it
that
wasn't
was terrifying.
full on.
I really, really, really liked this movie. Like
Yeah.
I found it really great.
Yeah.
Super watchable. I will be watching it again for
I
sure.
have to. Yeah, you talking about it now makes me want to really watch it
Yeah.
again.
It
And
was such a-
Unbreakable for that matter.
Yeah,
'cause
and
it's
I'm
been-
gonna
it's
go
been
back
too
and
long.
watch Unbreakable,
too
and then
long.
we're getting the Glass movie. So the culmination of this trilogy that kind of has snuck up on us now,
How good is that?
which is amazing. I'm so excited.
And
for
this
that.
is why I don't read. I know you do, and that, you know, I just can't do it to myself.
Yeah.
Read different things about when movies come out and read all the
Sure,
news and all
sure,
that
sure,
stuff.
sure.
So when I do see something like Bruce Willis pop up at the end of Split,
Yeah. Well, this
has
is the
that
thing.
reaction for
There
me.
are certain filmmakers that I know to stay away from.
oh right, good one. Yeah,
I'm not going to read a big think piece about a Shyamalan film that just
Right.
came out because I know there is going to be something in it. Same thing. I'm not going to want to read about the after credit stuff for Marvel because I want
Right.
that to be a surprise.
nice.
The only reason I knew this had anything to do with it is because the headlines of articles that would pop up in my Facebook feed would just mention something about Glass coming in after Split, now Glass, and stuff like that. So I was
wow,
like,
nice.
okay, so there's definitely a relationship.
Okay.
Is it in the same universe? Is it a direct sequel? You know, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So I was it was a complete surprise to see
Yeah.
done like Bruce Willis at the end, but a very welcome one. Very
Amazing.
welcome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, we've
let's
ranted
stop
about
there.
that for a
Yeah,
fucking while.
let's-
So there's
These
that time
poor
code.
people.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome
if
back,
you skipped
people.
the Split spoilers,
Yeah.
you missed out.
Please watch it.
Just
people.
go watch it
Seriously,
and then
just watch
listen
it
to this
now.
bit because we
Yeah.
fucking just had the little nerd
It was a massive,
geek out
massive
just then.
chunk. Yeah, it was 5 minutes. It was. All right.
Hey, what did you watch,
Well,
man?
mine was never. Tys. Yeah. Mine was still good. I rewatched District 9 again.
Oh, nice.
Totally forgot that this thing was
So fucking good.
This was no. I remembered it being. This is like the 6th time for me.
Sure.
But this was up for Best Picture nom.
Yeah.
Tys.
Yeah.
This really should have won. What won that year?
It was never going to win.
But it was such a good movie.
It is such a great movie. It was the first year they expanded to 10.
That's
which
right.
which
And it
was why I was kind of like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and they put
Letting in like a random little low budget sci-fi movie. You guys are great.
yeah, and they chucked in. It was the year of Avatar, and they chucked in. It was what's the name's year?
Hurt Locker.
Yeah, Hurt Locker. That's it. But yeah, District 9. Neil Blomkamp. It was the amazing introduction to Shartlow Copley. Oh. And
I like him a lot.
oh,
think
I
he's
love
a really
it.
great
And especially seeing the contrast from District 9 to Elysium. The man has some chops on him. Really does. But yeah, equal parts action, comedy, and what I love about this movie is the realistic sci-fi setting that is just, I guess, sort of Blade Runner sort of has the same thing. It's just that messed up, very sort of rubbishy but very futuristic look of everything, and the mockumentary style that they've done at the start with
I
with
forget that. I
Shartlow.
forget it when I go to watch
Yeah.
it that it's that
that it has that
style
stuff. But it if you don't like those sort of things, I feel that it just kind of washes over you, and you don't see it. It doesn't affect the movie in any way, shape, or form. I think it kind of really adds to it, if anything. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about it much because it's District 9. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it.
No, I don't know, man.
If you
I don't
haven't-
think.
if
I
you
don't
haven't-
think.
Really? How
Yeah.
have people not seen this?
I
I remember
know.
I gave it to my my dad was a huge, massive. He was my kick into sci-fi movies, so he made me watch a couple of the Star Trek films, and we watched the whole of Next Gen.
Oh,
together.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I gave this to him for Christmas, and he had no idea what it was, and yeah, he loves it. How could you not love it, man? Prawn. The prawn is, you hear him popping, and yes, he's very good. He bumps out. Yeah,
it is really a wonderful movie.
So good.
It's good to see
it's
deep sci-fi.
Yeah,
but like one that's still, it's not obnoxiously so. I feel like, and there's definitely a market for those kind of films, and there is an audience that really kind of love digging deep into the psychology of sci-fi films.
Yeah.
I like that it is still a really effective action film.
Yep.
And really quite deep as well. Like it's got a lot going on.
Political say and all
absolutely.
of that stuff, which is fine. But seeing this, like Blomkamp come out with this, and then I liked Elysium, but it kind of didn't hit. Like it was good, but it didn't. It didn't hit the mark as hard.
It wasn't as good, but I thought it was a really effective movie.
But then Chappie came out, and oh dear Lord, Chappie was just. It was just awful.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Chappie.
Yeah, it was just all the bad parts of Short Circuit.
I'm a bit allergic to Deantwood, so
oh really?
So I don't think I could spend a whole movie.
That's such a nice way of saying it.
With those two as leads.
That's such a nice way of saying it.
No, because like I can listen to their music because it's batshit crazy, and I can watch some of their film clips because they are fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But I think they are made for 3-minute spurts. I don't think I could watch a movie with those as the leads. Hey, did you see there was a trailer that dropped a couple of days ago?
Go on.
Called Oates Volume 1, a series of short films directed by Neil Blomkamp?
No.
So I just was having a bit of a scroll through.
Yeah.
He's started a experimental studio for making short films.
Right.
And they will be released online through Steam.
Oh, I know what Steam is. Yeah.
And I think you pay like a couple of bucks and you get a short film.
Nice.
And there's a trailer which I feel like kind of covers all of them.
Okay.
Which gives little and it looks really great. There's a character there that looks like it's kind of influenced by the prawn design.
Oh,
I don't think it's in the same universe or anything. Prawn. But it kind of you remember when you first time you saw the prawns and you were like, God, they look like they're fucking right there.
They look weird.
It's such a great design because you
kind of wanted one to stay still so you could look at it properly. Yeah,
it feels like when you watch a whole bunch of other sci-fi movies and alien movies. Yeah, there's a separation from you as the viewer because they are so fantastic in the air quotes that you can see that they are an effect.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the quality of the effect.
No.
There's just because the design is so out there that our brain separates them from reality.
Yeah.
I looked at the prawns and I was like,
they are in.
They're there.
Yeah.
Like
especially with the little garments that they had worn and things that they put on their head.
They were so great at humanizing them as well.
That's true. You kind of get that from especially big Star Wars movies, like when Finn goes and drinks the water from the fountain. And that big beast there is. You go, oh yeah, that's it's awesome, but it's
like
not.
Or the guy with 6 arms that runs the old 50s diner.
Yeah.
What is going on with that?
Yeah.
Why is there a 50s style diner
in Star Wars?
In the Star Wars universe.
Why not, man? It's awesome.
In a galaxy far, far away, they have 50s style diners.
Bring it on. It was a little wink to Spaceballs.
Ridiculous. Anyway, but there's a character in this that kind of looks like a prawn. But a different kind of style. There's some war stuff, like some Dakota Fanning appears to be in one. Her face popped up.
Is this The Escape? Is that the short?
No,
that's something else?
That was something else. That's a car commercial, I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Clive Owen?
It's Neil Blomkamp.
Clive Owen in that?
Yeah, Clive Owen. Yeah,
he's. I believe they're car commercials.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it just popped up a couple of days ago and it looked really interesting. I thought it was a new movie that kind of was coming out of the woodwork, and we were like, "Oh, secret Neil Blomkamp movie."
Yeah, bring it on.
But it's not. It was some collection of short films, but it looks really cool.
Okay, decent.
Yeah.
District 9. Do you own District 9, Tys?
Yes, shit, yeah. Yeah, that was one of the first Blu-rays I bought when I got a Blu-ray.
Oh,
player.
really? Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, beautiful
Such
film.
a good movie. All right.
Well, why don't we get involved with our feature presentation? Yeah, I'm going to chuck on my little pre-recorded intro right now.
And now for our feature presentation.
And there it was.
Your feature presentation.
Excellent. Our feature presentation today, Nicholas, we have another film from quite possibly the greatest year for cinema.
Seriously.
I reckon I'm going to have a good look at this.
It's up there.
I recken it's up there. Karate Kid 2.
Oh, the soundtrack on
is that
both
87?
of these.
1987 is up there.
Yeah, man.
It could be the greatest year ever, mostly because Predator was released in 1987. So,
geez, what a good year!
yeah, that pretty much wins everything.
When are we going to do the Predator episode?
Oh, part 2 of Karate Kid's 86. What a shame.
Ah,
I hope it was 87 that Predator came out. Otherwise, I'm going nuts over a year that. Yeah, it was 87. All right, so we're talking about The Lost Boys. Joel Schumacher. The Lost Boys.
yeah, man.
Yeah. So Nick, what did you think of The Lost Boys? Is this how? I would assume this is not your first watch. No,
I could
you giggle.
Literally say this movie verbatim if you like.
I could quote a fair chunk of this
yeah,
film.
Yeah.
So this has obviously been something we've
had it in the canon for a while.
It has. It's been brought up a few times. We thought, let's give it a wait.
Yeah. How good is Lost Boys though? When did you? Because this is your pick, Tys.
This was my pick.
Why did you? Don't tell me why you picked it.
Okay.
Tell me. Is there when you watch this? What does it remind you of? Is there something that a time?
Oh, this is no. I
of?
wouldn't say that there is a specific time because obviously we're a little young for when this released.
Yeah.
Like we weren't exactly hanging out at carnivals and stuff,
that's
so
true.
we couldn't relate in that way. But it was one of those movies that I can't remember not knowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
There's only a few that I know for a fact I probably saw before I was involved in like movies, like trying to grab anything. Like I knew that I'd seen it. And then when I started to kind of get obsessed with film in my kind of early to mid-teens, it was one that was on high rotation because it's it's a movie that's technically a horror film, but is kind of got funny bits in it.
It's got a lot of funny bits.
It's got kids in it, so you can relate to them.
Yeah.
It's never really like hideously scary or hideously violent.
It's not too gory, no.
And so it's a good gateway horror/vampire movie for kids who kind of are interested in that thing.
Yeah.
So I always knew that genre movies were where I was going to kind of like where my interest would lie because, like think about as a kid how excited you get about the idea of, it's a guy with a fucking gun for an arm and you're just like, sick. I want to watch that movie. Half man, half machine, Robocop, I'm in. These kind of things are what drives, 13-year-old kids to watch cool fucking crazy movies. So
exactly.
Cool vampires.
Especially because when you're a kid, any monster, any type of monster, when you got a little bit older, you realized that looking at monsters were cool. You weren't scared of them anymore. You had kind of gotten over that.
Yeah.
So Frankenstein, mummy, werewolves, vampires. Vampires was kind of at the top. For most people.
Yeah, I would say so.
And this was... It wasn't the start. I kind of looked it up. But it was in the midst of that sexy teen vampires that were teenagers.
Well, I would say this might be one of the first times, though, where it legitimately glamorized it.
Exactly.
To a degree that... I mean, even the tagline. It's something like...
Live all day,
party all night.
No.
Is it?
Hang on, no, wait.
No.
It's
sleep all day.
Sleep all day, party all night.
It's cool to be a vampire. Like this,
I'm in.
That kind of drives kids to be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
Like even more so now than, I mean, Twilight obviously has done it again.
That was quick. You brought that up.
Unfortunately, it does warrant a comparison because
It's a sexy teen
But if you've got to
vampire.
think about how that era had its sexy teen vampires,
Yeah.
and now we're still living. We're probably at the arse end of it
Yeah.
because even shows like Vampire Diaries and
Yeah,
the originals
True
and all
Blood.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're all starting to kind of people are reaching their.
They're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we've had
had our
enough of that.
vampire hit. We need
And it
to
will come around
move
again,
on.
no doubt.
Oh, totally.
And it always does. But
Yeah.
I think we're just at that moment now. We're at the peak. No, we're not at the peak. We're
No,
well
we're
and truly
at
on the other
decline.
side of the
Yeah,
decline.
Yeah.
But it'll come around again, and there will be
Absolutely.
another generation's Lost Boys. There will be another generation's Twilight. It will come around again.
But hopefully it will be, a lot. These vampires, they were rock stars. Like they were hot,
Shit, yeah.
hot bikes. It was all about earrings and leather jackets, and you
Yeah.
know, it was amazing. And it was just there's something I don't know. There's something very sexy about being a vampire. I think
vampire lore has always been sexualized.
Yeah.
It's
because it's the biting of the neck.
Yeah.
You have to get in quite close to
and it's
the person
I
you're
think
biting.
I think it's just generally always been considered a metaphor for sex. The turning into a vampire
into
and
a
the
vampire,
lustfulness of the vampires, the way it is a heavily sexualized act,
Yeah.
taking the blood. So
Yeah.
it's it's obviously a representative of human sexuality and human lustfulness and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, man.
it's always been there. Like that's always been a part. But to see it not be, a Bela Lugosi.
Oh yeah, like
a crusty
a
old
Vincent
man,
Price, an old school like Christopher Lee
hovering around.
Nosferatu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to see it be Kiefer Sutherland with his like platinum blonde mullet
and his earring
and his
earrings
earrings and his cool kind of like tapered goatee that he's got going on, where it's kind of like a bit of facial hair, and
but kind of not.
because it's so light and
So good.
Like I think it would have been a real kind of turning point.
Yeah, totally.
I can't say fully if it was the turning point, but
well,
I think
didn't know, but
it
was up there.
it is most reminiscent of Twilight. I think.
do you know
for
this
us.
was Kiefer's second film?
Was that all?
Second.
Wow, Stand By Me's first.
Stand By Me
Get
was
out
the
of town.
first.
I didn't know that.
Get stuffed.
Oh, was that a question you were going to ask? Like, as
No.
a quiz?
Like, imagine that as a career.
Yeah, it's a good way to start.
I started in Stand By Me, and then I did Lost Boys.
Yeah. See, it's funny because I
You
always,
could
I would
retire
always consider.
just then and just go, fuck it, maybe.
Well,
I'll
it
do
seems like he might have started relatively late. Do you know? Like that seems to me. I would assumed Kiefer Sutherland would have been in movies prior to 1986 or
his father,
1985.
yeah. Well, he did do a couple, but they weren't. This was Stand By Me was his first American.
Yeah, sure.
He did 2 Canadian films
Oh, okay,
beforehand,
cool.
I believe. But yeah,
I like Kiefer Sutherland a lot.
I love him.
I've always been a big fan of his. Obviously,
Yeah, man.
you, because 24 is your favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy, and I like this little working relationship with Schumacher that he had.
That he has, yeah.
I think it was only 2 films, maybe 2
No,
or 3.
Three. He was so it was
It was
after this was
Flatliners.
Flatliners, and then he was the villain in Phone Booth.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a while down the track.
It was a while down the track, but
I really. Speaking of Schumacher, just briefly,
Go on.
we'll obviously go into more depth. I really like this period of
Schumacher? Yeah, I'm the
think,
same.
I think it might be my favorite. The 8 or so years, probably up until Batman Forever.
Batman Forever.
I
Yeah, I
think
was going to say
that's kind of where
because he made some Falling Down, man. Come on.
Look, see, Falling Down has its problems, but I think it's a
great
super
film,
watchable movie.
Absolutely.
And I think Michael Douglas does a really great job.
Yeah, man.
But his level of camp was just, and I don't mean camp in like the way camp has been kind of taken over to mean like tacky.
Yeah.
I mean camp in like the extreme representations of stuff that has this heightened reality to it. Oh, bless you.
Sorry.
He was the master of it for for this decade, I think. And in a way that doesn't, like, I know some people watch Lost Boys and just have a giggle at how
Who are these
ridiculous it is.
Who are these people?
No, but I think if you showed this to a 15-year-old now, I think
said
the
that they
majority of
still
time
get
would be.
into it,
I think
man.
no, but I think you'd need a certain kind of kid because it would be very easy just to take the piss out of this.
That's true. That's because that kid has already watched Twilight.
Yeah,
They've
well,
found their own. Yeah,
although,
I know what you're saying.
But maybe
What?
all the fashion's all coming back around. Though this is the thing that's really weird.
Exactly.
Like Secret Life of Tyson. He's a teacher. There are kids in my school that have mullets. Like they're back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Like it's starting to kind of make its way back around. The like denim jackets are right back in.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah.
things that were for a period of time, maybe about 10 years ago, thought to be really tacky.
Yeah.
Are now
man.
making their way
Coming
back around again. So maybe not. I don't know. Although there is nothing to be said for that. How's that fucking cape jacket that Corey Haim wears, where it's like I don't even know what that thing is.
It's like a trench coat, but really thin.
Yeah, it's like it's a trench coat made out of like curtain material.
Yeah. In the comic, I know the one.
And he pushes the sleeves up, and it's just
he's got a whole a costume
like
thing of his
off-white.
own. Yeah, it's weird.
It's like
It's
off-white and grey. It's just
Yeah.
awful. That will never come back around. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
Thank God.
But yeah, this is a fun time for movies in general.
Yeah,
I
man.
think this is the 80s time that I really enjoy, where camp values are thought of as a positive, not as a negative.
Yeah.
And so you get these real kind of heightened qualities to the films that you're watching, where like everything is, it's all red neon, and it's all, the lair that they
Or the dark
spend time
blues
in,
of
or
that-
the dark,
of the water.
of the
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
and the way like the steel of the steel white of the moonlight and everything.
Yeah.
And their lair is just so over
So
the top.
awesome.
The massive like Jim Morrison poster, and, and it's like it's
And the
decadent
chandelier and the fountain,
exactly.
yeah.
So it kind of looks like. It's funny that
shitload
he
of
ends up
candles everywhere?
Yeah, well,
Like-
it's funny that he ends up like directing Phantom, because I look at that and to me, it looks like the Phantom of the Opera's lair.
Oh, yeah.
If he was
That's so true.
an 80s teenager,
Yeah.
like that's what his
That's
lair
really
would have looked
true.
like.
Yeah.
And so I love it. I love him so much about this film. I love
So
the
good.
production design. I love the cinematography. I love his use of music. I think he uses music in a way that
In this, definitely.
especially in this, but
Yeah.
he's very good at his music choices,
Yeah.
and it makes sense, having already mentioned that he does have interest in musicals, because he obviously understands the power of a good piece of music.
Yeah, and the setting, one of my favorites. Just watching it again this time, it was such a standout for me. Like the carnival with the beach and the boardwalk.
Well, it's so
like
clever because then
combination of those.
you get to use the very over-the-top lighting design,
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
feels organic because we're in this carnival setting.
yeah.
So you get to have the weird music choices. You get to have the
But
big neon blues and reds.
Yeah, but you also, as much as like the beach, and we all know what the beach looks like at night, you turn a carnival off at nighttime and it all of a sudden becomes scary.
really
Almost
creepy.
like a school.
Yeah.
Like if you were to go into a school at nighttime, I'm not going to go in there.
Well,
Pass.
there's that wonderful shot where the Ferris wheel turns off.
Turns off, yeah.
While the overhead shot of the POV of them flying.
Yeah.
And that's super effective because it
just works.
It adds a
It's
real
perfect. Yeah.
level of creepiness
Yeah.
to it.
So the setting for this, I think, is something that really popped out to me this time.
Yeah.
Because of
I'm not very. My geographic skills are pretty poxy.
Yep.
Is Santa Cruz a real place?
It is. Santa Cruz is a real place. This
Sure.
is called Santa Carla in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's Santa Carla in the
Okay.
movie, but they shot it in Santa Cruz.
Okay, sure. And is that like? Because I just feel like it's kind of Coney Island-ish. Is it the same?
No, wrong side of America. So
Okay.
it's in LA. I
Ah,
believe.
okay.
I believe. We're going to cut that out if I'm wrong.
So this is the other coast's version of
This is-
Coney Island,
yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah, basically.
Are there lots of those in America? Like lots of kind of carnival towns?
Not that I know of. Coastal carnival towns.
Yeah. Is that like a
I don't
common
think
thing?
so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's worth kind of.
Yeah.
It's just I find it such an effective. Yeah, like you were saying, it's such an effective setting.
It is
for a film,
especially with the carnival on the beach. Like it goes so well together.
Well, you think
and
about how well
yeah.
it works in The Warriors as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even if it is just that last scene, but the coldness of a carnival during daytime when it's very early in the morning when they make it back.
Yeah.
That's super. That works
That's
so
awesome.
well.
So well.
And so you get elements of this here.
Man.
That are very similar.
Yeah, it's the bottom part of California.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, why don't we just...
Let's start with the family introduction.
Well, the one thing... Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Go on.
Yeah. No, I can't say enough about the song, the Cry Little Sister song.
Oh, I know. Yeah. If you want to start there, like that intro for me, I wrote it down because I had to.
Mm.
The combination of the blue water, the title of the film coming up, just the fact that no, we don't need any actors. You don't need the director's name. You've got the film.
Yeah.
Let the song play. Go into the
And it's a real cold open too. Like we are dropped straight into it.
Yeah, man.
They're the four of them just crawling through the merry-go-round.
Yeah, on the boardwalk.
Their design. Each of their designs are so striking that they cut a really amazing figure.
Yeah.
And to start stirring up shit immediately.
Yeah.
If anything, it's just a little too pacey.
Oh, a little too quick for you.
Yeah, I think I would like to...
Yeah, no, I kind of liked it.
It's effective, but it's one of those things where when watching it, you have to just kind of go, oh, should I've only been watching for 45 seconds? We're in? Okay, we're in.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
exactly.
off.
And then you have that long, like the policeman or the security guard walk to his car. That long walk to his car.
That the overhead shot is just so wonderful.
Beautiful.
And the fact that you only really see them flying...
Yeah.
Once, very late.
Yeah.
But never in the full outdoor shot. It's just in indoor where it's much easier to achieve. It's always that POV camera shot.
Which I love because it's such a strike back to old school horror.
Exactly.
You make it so that you don't see what's happening and these people just get
hear
torn
the
out.
Flapping of jackets and stuff, so you know that... Yeah.
Yeah. So cheesy, but just...
From Bill.
Yeah.
From Bill of Bill and Ted.
Of Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that start. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we
kicks into gear really well.
Introduced to the family straight away.
Yeah, and they're
and that beautiful Santa Cruz.
Santa Carla.
Santa Carla,
it's
that's
called.
right. Yeah. It's called Santa Carla. So the Santa Carla billboard promoting the town, and then he looks back and it says "Murder Capital of the World." I think
we
that's
just get
so good.
We just get this is more really great music choices because it's not necessarily that these are unique choices. I think Cry Little Sister is because it was written specifically
for the film.
It.
Yep.
But, something like People Are Strange doesn't seem like an inspired choice at first.
No,
but
that's true.
I think it's the fact that it's the covering of it by
Echo and the
Bunnymen, which has obviously got a really kind of 80s new wave vibe to it.
Yeah.
But that works really well, and the montage
of the town, of the carnival,
with all the different kind of
and
people, and with that music going over, I find really, really effective.
Yeah,
I think it sets us up really well, and it's a great little introduction.
It was
the
good.
three of them, I think, will have a really nice chemistry together. Especially Corey Haim and Jason Patrick have a really nice brotherly chemistry.
Yeah, you believe them,
like they
you
get
totally
really close sometimes. But they're happy to. Like they do little lines of dialogue, like almost nose to nose sometimes. But it feels normal. Like it feels like a brotherly bond. And
that's very true.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
That. Yeah. How old is Corey Haim meant to be in this?
I would assume 14.
Only because, and I'm going to jump ahead a bit.
Sure.
His older brother tells him to take a bath like that. That was the only bit
weird.
that kind of put me off.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was like, "Oh man, go!" in the bath, and I was like, "How old is this kid?"
But also, yeah,
who takes a bath at 14, Tyson?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just a different.
I don't know.
But
yeah.
Baths
anyway,
are fun. I guess. Someone said, I don't know. Would I be grossed out if someone was like, go and take a bath? I'd be like, what do you mean?
Fuck off.
Take a bath.
Take a bath? You take a bath.
Well, then we wouldn't get that badass holy water / garlic bath death later.
True, which was awesome.
It's pretty important that we establish the bath.
Yeah. And I love Diane Weiss.
Yeah, she's great. And she's doing her shtick too. She does this really well, that kind of goofy but lovable mum.
Yeah,
Like,
she's so
she
good
masters
at it.
that.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time is Parenthood, with her in it, and so many beautiful moments of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Just come up in this as well.
No, she's really great in this. I love. I think the three of them work really nicely together. Their grandpa's awesome as well. Really funny little side character.
He's so good, isn't he?
Yeah, and look, I don't think. I think I forget when I watch it just how funny it is too.
Yeah.
Like, you go into it and you're thinking like it's just a cool. Like in my head, I always remember the kind of cool 80s-ness of it.
Yep.
But I forget the humor. I get it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They are very aware of the movie they're making.
Yeah.
And it's all the better for it, that awareness, I reckon.
Absolutely, because otherwise you go down a track of horror for horror's sake, and it's kind of has to be spooky all the time and jump scares and things like that. And you don't need that all the
scary
time.
Elements more effective.
Exactly.
Because we're kind of lulled into a bit of sense of, it's going to be fine. It's fun and it's good times.
There's no
but the
gore.
grandpa's having a joke and his car makes that horn noise.
Yeah.
Like we have, we kind of get those moments.
Yeah, exactly.
And we think about, this was you got to think of the different time that was the 80s when movies were not afraid to kill kids and hurt kids and put them through all kinds of torment.
And good on them.
But watching it now, when you watch like the Frog Brothers and stuff like that, you don't really feel like anything's going to happen to them because you're like, oh, they're kids, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
But then
in that cave, section,
shit starts to happen. And you're like, holy shit, man, these kids are like, they're getting messed up. Yeah, like they get some really hard stuff to deal with.
Yeah. But yeah, how good are the Frog Brothers?
I like the Frog Brothers.
You like the Frog Brothers?
I think Corey Feldman is...
He steals the kind of limelight from the other guy, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like just
but
watching...
I think the other guy is doing a better performance. I feel like Corey Feldman is like... He's pitching it for the back row. Like, he's doing this thing where he's all like... snarly and... that's a serious comic book, man. Yeah. Like, he's
well, that's because of Joel Schumacher's direction. So watching the making of...
Yeah.
Joel told them that he gave them all of Stallone and Chuck Norris's movies and said, be like this. So told them to be very, very serious.
So it's obviously, for the humor of it.
Exactly. So they don't know that they're being funny, but they are being
I don't think Feldman... It's funny that Feldman... Because would you say he had the more...
Truth, justice...
Career?
In the American way.
He had more career than Corey Haim?
No, well, I think they were both even. Oh,
but
actually,
then Feldman gets
no.
like Goonies and...
Yeah, man. Meatballs.
What else was Feldman?
I'm going to try and bring everything back
Friday
to
the 13th.
Meatballs and Porky's.
Was he in one of the... He was in a few of the Friday the 13th. He was Tommy Jarvis.
Was he? I don't remember.
Tommy Jarvis?
2 seconds. But yeah, I feel
it's funny that because I think Corey Haim is actually
he was in Goonies,
quite natural.
Really?
Yeah.
I prefer Feldman.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, they're both rubbish now, and one of them's dead. So.
Whoa, dude.
Oh, he dead.
That's a bit harsh, but yes,
and they all had their stint on rehab shows, and like they were the typical example of the childhood actor that just could not handle the 80s because there was so much cocaine flowing around.
Absolutely, and to be honest, who would?
No, absolutely. You suddenly thrust it into the limelight. You have all this money, and you suddenly can just buy anything you want.
But in reading what happened to the two Coreys, I think it's for another podcast. But
our true crime episode.
Yeah.
Like what happened to the Coreys?
Yeah, I don't think they had the best ending or middle. Moving on. He was in Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, and then Goonies, Stand By Me. Lost Boys.
Oh, Stand By Me. There you go.
There you go.
He had the far better career.
He was in The Burbs.
The Burbs. Love The Burbs.
Love The Burbs. Oh, and then he was Donatello in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that counts. The only one that counts.
The good one. Yeah, shame about Corey Haim because I actually think he does some nice work.
Yeah.
I think.
Totally. Yeah, man, Frog Brothers. And what do you think about? Before we get into one of my favorite scenes that I love talking about?
Yeah,
and we'll bring it up. And I'm going to post this on the Nick Tys.
I think I know what it's going to be.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah. What do you think about Star? Because before we get to the actual Lost Boys,
sure.
What do you think about Star?
Star's an interesting character.
Yeah,
I think. I find that her and Michael,
Yep. Have a nice little dynamic. It's a
well,
bit,
so I don't know if it is nice.
Is it?
I think it's a bit. I think it falls into the traps that a couple of these movies tend to fall into, where
Do we need a love interest?
not even that they need it. It's that it's a love interest that their love is the most wonderful, powerful thing in the world. And I'm like, you just met each other like 5 minutes ago. You've spoken 3 words. You find each other sexy. And that's it. I find their relationship a little bit just based on nothing, kind of. But, it works in the context of the film.
Sure.
She's really kind of got a great... she does the mysterious hot chick very well. Like,
sure.
it's all flowing in the wind, and it's all really, big hair and big eyes.
Bracelets and
it's lots
awesome.
of bracelets.
I love the 80s. I love
Earrings
the 80s. I love it.
With the little brother. Not her actual brother, but the little guy hanging out
I wanted to bring this up. What is he? Because
he's just a kid that went missing that I think they gave. I think maybe she's
because of the milk
had a motherly kind of bond with, because he obviously went missing and she felt like she had to protect him.
Yeah, but the thing is, because of that milk carton scene, puts the milk carton on and Laddie's face is on there.
Yeah.
Clearly, there are parents looking for that kid.
Yeah, but he's a vampire.
But he's lost.
He's a lost boy.
He's a lost boy. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah,
That's it. Wow.
I guess so. Well, because what's she going to do? Take him back?
Yeah. Why
He's
not?
going to eat them.
He has parents.
He's going to eat his parents.
Oh, so looking after him until he...
I think she's kind of trying to keep tabs on him until they figure out what they can do, because that's why neither of them have killed anyone yet.
Right. Well, I don't get that vibe at all.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Well,
Alright,
it's
I didn't know that. That's a good look at.
yeah. Well, that's kind of what I
like
where I
that.
went with it.
Yeah. It was a question that I had.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Should we
Okay.
talk about our favorite scene of possibly one of my all-time favorite scenes?
How good is this song? I love it so much.
It's
I
out of
rewound it
control.
and played it, and Sam was like, "Can you not? Can we just watch the movie?" I was like, "No."
No, we all need to bask in the glory.
It's the combination of a lead singer that plays the sax, is oiled up to the nines,
oiled up like so much oil.
has so many chains around his neck,
So many
and just is not like 2015 bulk. He's 80s bulk.
He's
so
80s
it's
bulk,
kind of
yeah.
it's kind of a little
100. He's
a little-
Mr. Universe.
It's a little pudgy, but it's big.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's kind of-
it's not definition so
No,
much.
It's kind of bloated. If
It's
anything.
like, but it would fuck you up.
Yeah,
Like-
it would still fuck you up, and then fuck you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, He would totally make beating the shit out of you like a sexy experience.
Totally would. Oh, I love the song. I love it.
He's involved, man. He's getting right into it. Apparently, he's like a studio sax player. I was
Yeah.
reading that he put down some sax tracks on some great tunes.
I wish I was a sax player so that I could say, "Yeah, I put down sax tracks on that. That's me."
That's
Yeah.
me, man. The sax tracks.
And then I'll play this song.
But he's just like, he's selling it, man. And it's such a great.
That scene, man.
It is
How
such a
good is that scene?
representation of that camp aesthetic, though.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's all pelvis, it's all sweat, oil,
Yeah.
sexiness.
Jeans with like a leather crotch for some reason. It's
'cause
blue denim, but
sexy,
a
man.
leather crotch with like a ring belt.
It
The belt was
draws
big
your eyes
to the crotch.
to the package.
It doesn't draw my eyes. The mullet draws my eyes.
Fuck the
My
mullets.
God.
The mullets in this movie are out of control.
Awesome.
They are out of control.
I love that you have kids that teach kids that have mullets.
None of them are like this, though. Like, these are something else.
Yeah, man. It's intense.
Bill of Bill and Ted.
Bill of Bill and Ted.
Is
It's a bit full on, isn't it?
it can't be real.
Yeah.
Because
No, it is real.
I can't imagine how, though, because it's a
bit too
business
at the front, isn't it?
because the party at the back
It's
goes,
just-
it's almost like mid back level, the length, and it's curled. So if you straighten that shit out, we're
Yeah.
talking like arse length.
No.
I reckon.
Really?
It's so long. It's ridiculously
So
long.
awesome.
And then you have
And then you have the blonde.
the blonde who is kind of
Who's a bit of the twisted
he's the bit of
sister.
a interchangeable one. I
Yeah,
reckon
yeah.
he probably gets sold short out of
It
them
does
the
a
most.
bit. Yeah, he's the weakest link.
Yeah. And then you get
you've
the
brunette-
model.
Jesus,
who-
that is a.
He's
Good
yeah.
Good lord.
He's like the Fabio.
He is just downright fucking attractive, this man.
But in such a particular old school way.
And make him a vampire? And I'm like, good morning. Hello to you.
That's like...
if Kiefer wasn't there, you'd be like, okay, next in line. What's going on?
Well, see, Kiefer, it's funny because Kiefer, like, he's
no,
well,
doesn't do it for you.
Well, it's a different kind of. I had to ask my housemates. I was like, so what are we talking about? Kiefer Sutherland, hot?
Yeah,
and they're like, yeah, in this definitely.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, cool.
Sam said the same thing. What about the other guy?
Oh, yeah, one of my housemates specifically mentioned that she'd be like, see, it's funny because usually I'd be all about this brunette guy, but Kiefer's doing it.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, fair call.
I just love the brunette guy because he doesn't have a mullet. It doesn't have.
That's just old school long.
It's long,
like
big
long
hair.
rock and roll hair. So he reminds me of like Legends of the Fall era. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yes,
that kind of yeah.
Wow, good pick.
He's
Legends
the man.
of the Fall.
He's the romance novel front cover man.
He is. He's the Mills and Boone.
Yeah. I think they're all great though. The aside from the blonde, who not Alex Winter, the other blonde, who's probably got the least.
And so he should.
He probably has the least to do as well as even as an established character. But it's really mostly just. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland and Alex Winter are probably the only two that really get defined characteristics.
Yeah,
though.
that's true. But that was because of Joel Schumacher. He specifically designed all the Lost Boys, what they look like, what their characteristics would be, and all those things.
Yeah, and look, they're great. They're awesome, and they are memorable. I'm not trying to sell any of them short.
No,
I'm saying
not
just
at all.
Overall, I think when you've got such a strong presence as Kiefer there.
That's so true.
Other ones do have to kind of get cut away a little bit.
Tys, I have a question.
Go for it, man.
Did you want to work in that video store, Tys?
So I missed
like
it,
the
man.
epitome of the 80s, and then put a video store into it. The amount of neon and the amount of small televisions everywhere was phenomenal. Not only that, when you talk to someone at the counter, they had a television.
The little cutout.
How funny is that? That you're talking to them through a TV.
Oh, that was I loved it. It was such a nice little design touch.
Yeah.
God, it made me miss working in video stores so much.
It does, doesn't it?
Even though I worked in such a cold video store compared to
did
that.
you?
Well, Video Easies aren't exactly made for their welcoming kind of. It's all very, corporate.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though they try to make it not, it's still it's hard to hide that.
Yeah.
When you work at some of these more independent ones, you get that energy that you don't get at a Video Easy.
That's so true.
Oh, it was just wonderful, and it makes me miss those. Like we talked about it last week, but it made me miss just being able to roll up to a video store.
I know, and
and feel that energy of the room.
You felt at home.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good times. Good times. What do we think of
Go on.
Of what's his name? Bernard Herrmann.
Oh, Bernard Herrmann.
Is that his name? Bernard?
Max.
Bernard Herrmann?
Edward.
Edward Herrmann.
Edward Herrmann.
Who's Bernard Herrmann?
Who's Bernard Herrmann?
I don't know. Oh, no, Bernard is the grandpa. Bernard Hughes. Bernard Hughes. There we go. I combined the two old men in this movie into one person.
The fact that you know some of their names is
Edward
Herrmann.
Who
Edward
sadly
Herrmann.
left us not that long ago.
He did, didn't
I think
he?
within about a year ago.
2014.
Oh, okay.
It was
so
a
it was
few
a bit
years.
longer. Okay, there you go. So yeah, a lot of people would remember him mostly from his Gilmore Girls time.
Right.
I think that's probably his most defining.
I have a friend that does,
of the last
and I laugh at that friend.
So. Oh, see, I have a lot of people that tell me Gilmore Girls is great.
Yeah, I've heard it's
never
actually really
enjoyed it,
good. I've never watched it.
But yeah, so I think he's excellent. Do you know what I find really interesting about his character?
Go on.
Is that it's very rare in a movie where, well, I don't know how rare it is, but it's rare-ish. Is that an oxymoron? Rare-ish. Because they set him up as the red herring.
Yes.
He's diffused.
Yep.
But then actually turns out to be the villain. Yeah. Which I found really interesting. And
I
it was
love that.
Kind of unique, I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of another example of, like, not the red herring becoming the villain, but the red herring being diffused, then becoming the villain.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think
actually going through the trouble of diffusing that, because they do it quite comfortably. Like
They do.
They
make a point of it.
They make a point of it being
Yeah.
like, because that, I feel like that scene happens a lot in films. The red herring, and it's like, no, it's not that. It's actually this person.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But so it was kind of cool that it came back around to him.
Yeah, I
because,
did like that.
I remember actually finding that twist.
When you first watched
Like
it as a
the
kid.
first time I watched it as a kid, being like, "Whoa,
It was Max.
that's cool! It was Max all the time." Because and it makes you, when you watch it now,
Yeah.
it makes it those little interactions that he has with David and those guys,
Yeah,
a
it
lot
makes
better.
them cool.
Like when they come into the store and he's like, "I told you boys not to come in here." At
But he knows
first,
them.
it seems like he's like everybody else in the town who are like
Yeah.
wary of them, and it's like, "Get out of my place!" Blah
Exactly.
blah blah blah.
Yep.
But it's because he doesn't want them to be around him too much. It's like,
Exactly.
no,
Stop what you're doing.
coming and hanging out with me, because
Yeah.
people can't know about this.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So it's kind of great.
Yeah, that's
I think it
true.
works really well.
I did like that, and I did like like you talked about. They go through all of the ways to try and weed him out. What I did like about this movie is that it ticks all the vampire boxes.
Yeah.
Literally all of them, going from like the mirror that you can't see vampires in mirrors,
Sure.
like garlic, the quick healing of Michael, the flying, daylight, the first kill. Like they almost tick all of the boxes. Like,
Yeah,
they do
well,
it
it's
really
funny,
well.
but they kind of mess with the law a little bit too,
Yeah.
because the fact that you can become a vampire without being fed on, which
Yeah.
is obviously kind of different.
That's a bit different. Yeah. You have to have the blood. You ingest the blood.
But the ingest the blood was always a part
was
of it.
always a
It
part
was
of it,
always
yeah.
because that's part of the sexy the sex metaphor,
Yeah.
where it's the fluid swap. Fluid.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that word one more time.
Suck on the fluid.
Fluid. But in this one, you can just drink the blood and then you have to kill somebody else, which
Yes.
which it's almost like it becomes more of an initiation,
Yeah.
that you're not fully a vampire
You're not
until
fully a
you're
vampire
initiated
until-
into it, which
yeah.
I thought was kind of a cool little
Exactly.
twist.
Yep.
I like that they can be in daylight. It's just kind of like, it's like having
they're
a
just
hangover.
draining. Yeah,
It's
it's,
just like,
almost like
oh,
kryptonite. They're like,
I just need to put my sunnies on, man. No, don't look at me. I've had a big night. And I love that's how it's played through the movie too. When anyone sees him, they just kind of assume that he just got drunk.
It's just hang
or
on.
he just-
Yeah.
Or like, I love how the grandpa comes back and he's like,
looks
looks like
I'm
you
not the
got
only one who got laid last night. You're like, oh, chill out, Gramps.
That's it.
Yeah,
Grams.
that's
Jesus,
awesome.
man.
Awesome.
Relax. Do you reckon he announces himself everywhere he goes with that fucking horn?
I think they strategically put it in because of the ending.
Of course.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, totally do.
Because there's no, like, every time I see a movie where someone leaves somewhere and honks their horn as they go, I'm like,
Yeah.
no one does that.
I'm going to start doing that.
Like, but especially when you've got a dumbass horn like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, it's not like he did a wicked burnout and, like, and hung his head out the back and went, woo! Like, he's just going to give that old lady a stuffed ferret, and that was a euphemism.
Good Lord.
and he's
ferret.
honking the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 100% set
I'm
up.
gonna get laid.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, terrible.
But it's kind of funny at the end where it comes, it comes bashing through the door and you
Yeah.
hear the honking horn and stuff. It's effective.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
What did you think about probably one of the quickest but the hottest sex scenes ever? I'm going to jump ahead a little.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't do anything for you?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
With that song in the background?
Oh, yeah, it was fine.
As a kid, this was intense for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was all like flowing sheets and
Yeah, man, and
like,
candles.
it was like
and
the
really,
room. You know the sex scenes in the room.
I
That's what it reminded me of.
have to go on record as I haven't seen.
You've
the
never
room
seen
yet.
The Room?
No, not
That's
yet.
okay.
With the spoons.
You're
and-
fine. Like, it's.
Do you know they've are they redoing the making of The Room.
Yeah, so they've made a movie.
They made a movie
out
about
about the making of The Room with James Franco. I'm actually really excited for that. I think that's going to be great.
Good Lord.
I think that's James Franco is going to do an
seriously.
exceptionally good job. Yeah, look, it's a piece of shit, but it has some value in the sense that it's almost remarkable how ridiculous it is.
Fair deal.
But you're fine. You can go on your life. I don't understand the people that watch it,
Get it
like 4 times a year and just
pass.
like whatever.
It's not that big a deal.
No.
Yeah, fair deal. All right, you didn't. Yeah.
No, it was just very 80s, and I was like, yeah, they're banging. It's fine. It's going. But also because I didn't get a lot from the attraction
from the
of them. I was always a bit kind of like, yeah, you're just good looking people being good looking together.
Fair deal.
So,
all right, then.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, good point. What are you going to take?
He's got some
Jason
fucking
Patrick?
charm.
Are you going to take
Poor Jason Patrick. I was thinking about that. He never really took off.
He didn't, did he? Did you see Narc? I
love Narc.
I like Narc.
And he's really great in Narc as well.
He's
really good in it. That opening scene where he's chasing that guy through the project housing and stuff. God, it's just it's intense, man. Intense. Well, so that's Joe Carnahan, who I loved until I heard him interviewed.
Oh,
and he does not seem like a kind of guy that I would want to hang out with.
Right. Wow.
He was really interesting.
Maybe Jason Patrick he needs to do television. Maybe he'll kick off.
Maybe
in something else,
But I feel bad for the guy because I feel like he
gave it a red hot go.
He really did give it a red hot go, and he's had some opportunities. For some stuff that might kind of, like you think about like Speed 2. On paper.
No, not on paper. It's a boat.
But it doesn't matter. On paper, it seems like it's a sequel. It's the same director, Sydney. What's her name? Sandra Bullock's back.
Bullock.
Like William Dafoe's going to be the bad guy. It seems like it's going to be a good idea.
Jan de Bond, come on, I'm in.
Yeah,
You're in,
aren't
you?
And it ends up being a horrible
pass.
thing.
It was the worst. Jason Patrick, man, it's a shame.
I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think he's really effective in these kind of roles as well. I think
he is good in these roles, isn't he?
Because he's not because he actually does feel like a presence. He's not just like a pretty boy.
Exactly.
And the scenes where he does he does stand up to David.
David, yeah.
I buy, like, I reckon.
Yeah, totally. Especially that beach when where Hudson's Bluff is, look at the point, and he gets off the bike and punches him.
Yeah.
Just you.
I love that.
And it's, you believe him.
Yeah.
You're totally with him.
Yeah. It's so great. But it's also like,
dude, what are you doing?
Dude. It's such when anyone who ever says that in a movie, it's just like, yeah, of course you're saying that because you don't want to have to try and punch 4 dudes at once.
Yeah, exactly. Little do you know, they're vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, man. It
Jason
really
Patrick.
is. But this movie doesn't age. Like, even just watching it all the way through, it doesn't age for me. Like, I still had a good time.
I think it is an example of a certain time, but the storytelling elements are the parts that don't age. I think the container that it's in is very much aged, but not in a bad way. Like, it's, in a way.
But there's no lull for me.
No, and that's just really great storytelling. Like, that's pacing. That's
keeping it fresh. You've got a lot of characters in there.
Keeping all the balls in the air really effectively.
Yeah.
That part definitely hasn't. I think the container that it's in is very much aged, but in a wonderful way.
I love the container.
Yeah,
because
me
the
too.
container has, a G.I. Joe sticker on it, and it's a lunchbox that you're going to take to school.
100%.
Absolutely.
That is exactly what it is.
And that's what it is. Has a G.I. Joe sticker on one side and a gem sticker on the other. Did you like the ending? I'm just going to jump to the end.
Okay.
Did you like...
I think the whole...
No, the exact ending.
Oh, okay. It's one of those...
It's a bit of it's an 80s thing.
It's an 80s.
It's almost like the
AOK.
freeze in exactly. It's the AOK in Double Impact, or it's the wave goodbye in Uncle Buck. You know, it's the freeze frame.
It is. Yeah. Look, in certain circumstances, I don't mind. I found this one slightly jarring, but
Well,
then I was like, whatever.
So the real written ending, which I would have loved,
read about this,
which I would have loved to see, was it ended with, because there were supposed to be other lost boys, other than the actual 4, and they were meant to be in the hotel that was sunken, and they were to change back to boys.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then once they all leave, they all gone, whatever. The camera kind of pans into a mural on the wall that was made in 1900s, and it has the mural has Max in it, looking exactly the same.
Right.
And that's how it was meant to end. Kind of with Max has been around for ages sort of thing. And that's
Feels like the end of The Shining.
I still kind of like the AOK ending.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. It comes out of nowhere. It's a bit jarring, but I really like. Oh.
We're really professional around here, people. We are.
So it could have been worse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I like that it fades to black on them, and they're just left with the silhouettes, which I think is really effective.
Yeah.
And I like that it comes from the funny line from the grandpa.
Yeah.
Which, if this movie was crying out for an F-bomb, it
That's
needed to be there.
Yeah, good point.
When he went on, he's like,
what
I've always heard about this? Oh, the fucking vampires.
Yeah.
Fade to black. Would have been great.
It would have been
fantastic.
It would have been awesome. Yeah.
And it's still, I think it's rated M.
It is.
So it would have been PG-13 for the States.
You're allowed to have one.
You're allowed to have one.
You're allowed to have one.
That's the one.
That would have been the one. Yeah, exactly.
That's You search long and hard for where that one F-bomb goes. That was clear as day, that one.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How does the grandpa know to drive through his own fucking house with the stake?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only bit that eludes me.
I thought the stake hitting Max was accidental. I don't think it was planned by Gramps.
Okay.
I think he just drove in
just to
cause a...
Maybe he was a little drunk.
Here we go. Yeah, it was just exciting because he just got laid again. And it was just,
I'm drunk, motherfuckers. No, that's terrible.
But he's obviously just. It was a distraction. In how many movies this happens where it's just like,
that's true. Yeah.
We just need the distraction. I don't think it was deliberately set up as like a slingshot.
You don't think he did it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't think he knew that he was going to be hitting Max?
No.
At all? Okay.
No, maybe not specifically. I thought maybe he'd hit Max, but I don't know if he set up the Rube Goldberg style.
Yeah, man.
Stake flying out, hitting him, and then throwing him into the fireplace.
So good.
Yeah, funny character.
Good.
I like it. I really like the moment where they're all running around after they've attacked the thing the first time, and they're dragging everyone back home, and he's taking Star up the stairs or the kid up the stairs or something, and they're all running around and screaming, and the dad just busts through, and he's just like, "What's the rule about filling up the car?" I don't know. What is the rule?
You fill up the car.
You fill up the car with gas, and just walks out. And it's like it broke that crazy
urgency of
it
trying
really
to rush
effectively
home.
though, because then it makes you go, yeah, that is teenage. Like
you do get that.
That is that teenage urgency of like, oh my god. But it
in the end, you're like, okay, drive safe, kids. Remember seatbelts.
Exactly.
Exactly. Shut up.
It's just a wonderful little moment, and just it brings awareness to everything about the film.
Yeah.
Because that is the nature of the film, 100%.
It is.
Because we as viewers are watching it. We're in it. We're like, holy shit, they're coming. They're going to come for him now. It's getting really exciting. But
oh my god, we left the nook outside.
At its heart, it is. It's not a full satire, but at its heart, it has its tongue in its cheek.
Yeah.
And so that moment just reminds us, and we have a little giggle, and then it lightens everything, and it brings back the fun again. It makes that whole last battle,
last quarter,
it makes it fun, even though some fucking gnarly shit is happening.
How good are those deaths?
Yeah, they're great. They're
Do you
really
like those
good.
deaths?
I really like the one with the stereo. Because
death by stereo.
Well, because it's more really effective use of music.
Yeah, that's true. It was Jimmy Barnes, wasn't it?
It was
it Jimmy Barnes?
Have a good time tonight.
Yeah,
and like it's.
There was a lot of Australian music in this, actually.
Well, they use
INXS.
that's the same recording. It's Barnesy and INXS doing
right,
doing that song. They use the recording of that. Yeah. Which is really funny because because I've got the soundtrack to this.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten where that song appeared in the movie.
Oh, really?
And then, so when I listen to the soundtrack, I'm like, yeah, it's got Good Times by fucking INXS and Jimmy Barnes. What a weird choice for this movie.
Yeah.
And then every time it gets to that moment again, I'm like,
right.
yeah, that's right.
So that's your favorite death, the death by stereo?
No, I think the bathtub one might be
The
the death
bathtub?
because it's got the best makeup effect.
I love that. Yeah, that's true.
It's really great
And I love
makeup.
how it kind of... There was a period in the 80s in horror movies that if you wanted a good effect was scary water coming out of the sink.
Yeah.
You know, or the toilet.
That kind of comes out of nowhere. Why does that happen? Do we know why that happens?
No, we don't.
Does he like clog up the thing?
Well, the vampire goes in the bath. The bath has holy water and
his
garlic. And
because he gets skinned. He comes up and
he
he's
does.
just, he's just a skeleton.
Well, he's all melted,
Yeah.
you know. And no, there's no...
So
well,
does
that's the
his
thing.
skin and guts clog up the water system?
No, because one of the Frog Brothers says, no two vampires go down the same way.
Yeah, that's right.
Some explode, some implode. But yeah.
So he
But I love how...
imploded?
No, but he went all over the kitchen as well.
Yeah.
Like there was one shot of the kitchen where they literally went, okay, everyone turn on all your hoses and
it's a great
action.
it's a great effect. Like I
it
quite
looks
enjoy
good.
that effect. The way just everything kind of explodes out of it and the blood just shoots out. And it's great. It's really good fun.
I love it. I love it.
It's
I love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the dog.
Nanook.
Awesome.
Yeah. You like the dog?
Awesome. And
I
every
do love that dog.
It just every time I have to remind myself it's fine. Nanook does not die.
Oh.
Does not die. Nanook survives. Because
Nanook's-
Nanook gets to have some moments where you're like, oh my god,
Nanook!
If
Yeah.
I kill Nanook, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah.
And I love that the Frog Brothers are like, yeah, we dusted one.
Well,
Nanook
Nanook helped a little.
I'm like, it was all Nanook.
It was all
You did
Nanook.
nothing. You
Yeah.
sat there and screamed. The two of you,
Absolutely.
holding each other.
Just screaming while this vampire just dies in front of him. Absolutely. And
Exactly.
Nanook's like, whatever.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
What's your favorite line? Because there's a lot of good one-liners in this. Because I'll tell you mine while
Yeah.
you think.
Yeah, go.
And it makes me laugh every time. I've seen this about 1 billion times. This
Sure.
movie.
Sure.
And it still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
When the little kid comes out and he's all vamped up and one of the Frog Brothers goes, holy shit, it's the attack of Eddie Munster.
Yeah, no, I'll pay that.
Good line. I
It is a
love
good
that
line.
line. That's so good. No?
I pay that. I
Yeah.
like a lot of what the Feldman,
Frog Brothers do.
The Frog Brothers say. I think
Yeah.
they're really funny.
Corey Feldman, man. I just, I feel sorry for the Coreys. For both of them. I don't feel sorry for the other Frog Brother. He's like, I feel it could have just
he never really got. So.
It's all right. It's all right though.
I don't know. I don't know. My
You don't
favorite
know?
Line. No,
Oh,
I'm
really?
doing a check through IMDb quotes.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
So, Tys,
Yeah.
while you check through those
Sure.
IMDb quotes, do you realise that this movie has 2 sequels?
yeah, I did know this.
Have you seen?
No,
You
I'm not
didn't-
going to watch
You
it.
didn't give it a shot.
No, the director DVD and
They were, weren't they?
They have Kiefer's
son,
like
his son, Angus Sutherland.
no, that's his brother.
Oh, it's his brother.
It's one of his. It's his like weird, not famous brother, half brother.
But he's got the name Sutherland. Really?
yeah.
Oh, cashing in.
Maybe half brother. I don't know. I read something about him.
Okay.
But,
I'm going to look. When things like this happen, just like the Catwoman movie,
yes.
I like to take one for the team. I say that I'm taking one for the team. But if there is a glimpse, like the Crow sequels as well,
Oh yeah.
no one touches them either.
Uh,
No. I know everyone tried, but no one. Now you don't touch them. You've been told.
oh no, I'll still watch that second one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind that second one. I think it's
got some
It
elements.
gets a
It's
rough,
got some
It gets a
elements.
rough rap.
Yeah.
And actually, funnily enough, the one in the prison,
Oh.
Salvation,
Okay. Yeah.
one with it's got Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten
in it.
Dunst. Yeah. And Edward Furlong.
No, that's
the one after.
That is a piece of shit.
Tys, you've watched
That
them
is-
all,
I
have
watched them
you?
all. That is
Fuck.
unwatchable.
Wow.
The one with Edward Furlong.
Yep.
I tried to watch it because David Boreanaz is the bad guy in it, Angel from
Right.
TV's Buffy and Angel.
Yep.
Oh man,
Wow.
it was real bad.
Wow.
Real bad. But the third one was watchable. It's kind of like a prison drama.
Right.
It's like Shawshank if Tim Robbins was the Crow. Kinda. So it's
Okay.
it wasn't terrible, and Fred Ward is in it, and he's always good.
Okay, nice.
Like it's not good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. It was. I found
There
it
were
kind
elements of number
curious.
2 that it could have been okay.
And
but yeah.
number 2, actually, if anyone's interested, there's a guy called on YouTube. He does a video channel called Good Bad Flicks.
Yep.
He does an exploring series where he looks at
The Crow
random
series.
films that have interesting histories.
Oh, okay.
And he did quite a long video on the City of Angels Crow film
nice.
because the production of it was quite ridiculous, and it's nowhere near the movie that they set out to make when they started making that. So it's well worth kind of checking out, because I think there is a very good movie in there somewhere.
It's
you've just
not
kind
the
of
one
got
that
you've got to explore around some of the shit.
I like hearing those stories. I like hearing those.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I found it super, super
like
interesting.
movies that have a really hard time or just get the budget ripped out of the guts of it right
exactly.
in the middle,
and studio interference and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, Lost Boys, The Tribe, the second one.
Yep.
I did watch it, Tyson.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
God, you might be the one.
Yeah, I think I am only the one. There was no story there. There
I've
was
heard
literally no
I've
story.
heard they're near unwatchable.
Yeah. Just none. Like I believe that the one after this one, Lost Boys, The Thirst. Yeah, I feel that is just focused on the Frog Brothers.
Well, I think they bought... Yeah, so the other Frog Brother, not Corey Feldman, wasn't in the second one, was he? He's just in the third one.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
And it's like they're reuniting the Frog Brothers.
Actually, no. For some reason, I remember this. At the end of the second one, he rocks up in sort of like a Marvel after credits.
No shit.
As a vampire.
Oh.
And he has to cure it. Like, that's the kind of we're going to find the head vampire, we're going to help you out sort of thing. I think that was
And is the head vampire... Angus Sutherland?
I have no idea.
Is that
he's the so instead of
is he the Jason Patrick of this one?
Yeah, he's the Jason Patrick.
I thought he was the Keith
no,
Sutherland.
maybe he's not. No, he is the Keith Sutherland.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember. Look, it was years ago, and I watched
it's a piece of shit.
And I watched it once.
We don't need to
and
talk
it has
about
one
it
of the worst covers of.
They were such generic, like. I remember when they came out and everyone was just like,
"Oh my god, how could you do that?" Yeah,
these are going to suck, right?
Yeah,
and
of course they're going to suck.
They definitely sucked.
Anyway, enough about Lost Boys 2.
Yeah.
Do you have a line? You don't have a line?
No, I couldn't be bothered.
Fair deal.
Or maybe it's if anything, it's what you don't like rice. A billion Chinese people can't be wrong.
I love that line.
That's funny.
And do you know what I love?
And kind of racist in an 80s way.
It's a food joke.
Yeah, that's
a food joke. This is the movie. How Are Those Worms? That from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
do the chips thing.
Dude, that's it.
I can't do it with chips, mate.
When he's got the
I can't do it with
spaghettis.
chips. Do you like spaghetti?
Yeah, that's.
Oh. So when I saw them, I was just laughed at that.
Do you know what's weird though? Is that when he does the trick and he's like, "Oh, you're eating maggots," and he throws the box down.
Yeah,
it's just plain rice.
Yeah.
Who orders?
I don't know.
No one just eats plain rice out of the box.
Well, maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe there are some people that do.
You got to put something in it. You put some fucking black bean beef in there or some
Worcestershire at least, or some
Worcestershire sauce. Fucking Chinese are you getting? That's crazy talk.
Okay, soy. Shit. Try your sauce. Oh, okay.
What did you think of Robe Lowe's midriff?
Oh my god. I love that poster.
It wasn't a fucking
I love that
poster.
he has that poster in his room.
And it's like, this is part of it. Like, if that was now, you'd be talking to that kid and you'd be like,
oh, so clearly...
Is something you want to talk to me about?
You like guys. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I just want you to... You can talk to me about it. But in the 80s... It's kind of just like, he's Robe Lowe posing, showing off his belly button.
Full midriff.
That's so cool, man.
How
I fucking
badass
love
does
Robe
he
Lowe's
look?
the best, man. He's such a fucking badass. That's what it is, and it's so bizarre. I love
no way.
it. It's such
I feel
a different energy.
No, I feel that Corey Haim is a little bi-curious.
Oh, maybe.
I feel he's a little bi-curious,
fair,
totally.
He's rocking some certain fashion choices.
Exactly,
that maybe lend us to believe that. Yeah.
So do you remember having, because I had one of these, I wish I kept it.
Oh my God, are we about to say the same thing?
The clock
The
watch.
fucking watch that hangs on the wall.
Yeah, man.
I told my housemates, I'm like, I had one of those. And they were like, as if you don't still have that.
I know.
It's gone to
How
God.
good would that be if you still had one of them now?
I would hang that shit up like immediately if I had that.
I had one of them.
They were so cool.
How good were they?
Me and my
My
brother
auntie
both
bought
had
me
one.
Yeah.
And like we were like we loved them. They were hanging on our walls from the time we were about 12.
Yeah.
I want to say till I moved out.
And
of
how
my
rad is
home.
this one though? It's all red.
Yeah, it's
Mine was
red.
like multicolored.
Had
like a beach
as
theme.
were black.
Oh,
Yeah,
get
so
off!
They were like black with red hands on the clock. Yeah, it was
What?
cool. Yeah, there was definitely no multicolours on ours.
I'm going to Google how much one of these things cost. Because I bet you now, Tys.
They'll be super expensive now, and I reckon 10 years ago they would have been cheap as shit.
Exactly,
We've
exactly.
missed the boat on this, I reckon.
What else?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
I
come
think
on.
I might be done.
Really?
Yeah. I really love the moment where they run into the church with the
It was a good
water
montage.
bottles.
I like the montage. It
that
was a
whole
good- it was a good
montage is really
montage.
effective. Actually, it's
It
really
was.
good because it just that is an inspired piece of comedy. I
Yeah.
think the three of them running in there, two of them dressed up in full camo,
Camo, yeah.
like
So good.
just run in, and they're just like nothing to see here. Just
No,
continue
and they're
about.
fine.
It's
And I
fine.
love how they turn around, they go out the door, and he just does
Yeah.
the fist
Just
pump.
a little
to
bit of a
everyone.
yeah.
He's just, yeah. All right, take it easy, people. I love that.
It just
So
that
good.
is where the real kind of. I think a lot of the love of these characters come from moments like that. It's because we
Yeah.
get these great. Because this could very easily just be a serious.
It was so good.
And it would still be a good movie. If it took itself quite sincerely, I think it would still be a good movie.
Yeah.
But I think its longevity has come from the fact that we can laugh with these characters.
Yeah.
And they're endeared to us because of those things.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's a little weird moment at
So
the
good.
end.
Oh, go
that
on.
I just want to discuss
A weird moment
briefly.
at the end.
with the mother, with Diane Weiss.
Oh, okay. Oh.
She legit gives up.
She's
She-
not the strongest character in the
she
world.
is
She
like-
literally gives up her sons like that.
She's like, oh, well,
yeah.
we're going to be vampires,
It's
I
like we're
guess.
going to be vamps.
It was odd.
Yeah.
And
I
it-
didn't
I didn't like it. It's,
it.
If anything, it's actually probably the one foot this movie steps wrong, like legitimately wrong.
Well, to be honest, both female characters aren't that strong. Star isn't the strongest.
Yeah, but that's not Star's fault. That's just Star is
No.
built that way.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's she's playing the earthy spiritual one, so she gets to be a bit kind of floaty anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the mother character, and
I know,
but
and she
the whole
protects her
movie-
boys and all
the
the way
whole movie
through
she's
and-
presented as being kind of weaker because of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she's gone through.
Yeah.
And it's such a great moment. It could potentially be a really good moment for her to show strength for her sons.
Yeah, man.
She just
She
kind of
gives
gives
up.
over
She's just like,
to,
"Oh."
yeah, okay, here you go, here's my hand, I guess we're going to be vampires, and because you're kind of cute and we've tried to have this date 4 times now, so I guess I probably should just
Really
do it.
though? I mean, oh,
Do you know what I mean?
it just makes me sad.
But that's what I mean. It's kind of, I think it might legitimately be a mistake that this movie makes.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a bad choice to make her so weak.
Yeah. Like, really give
and
up.
without even a moment of
No, I'm going to fight
redemption.
this. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is a real shame because Diane Weiss is she's such a beautiful character in it too, and
exactly.
she's really kind of endearing, and we really want to see her succeed. We feel bad for her. Even just like the way they set her up as saying, you know what, the great line that the grandpa says about I've never met a woman who was worse off after a divorce. And she's like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through all the legal stuff. I just wanted to get our life together.
Get over
Like
it.
that's such a,
and-
it just sets her up perfectly. It shows
Yeah.
that she's no mess, no fuss. She
Exactly.
just wants to live her life happily.
But she's so good to her boys.
And she's so good to them, and
like,
she doesn't get the moment. She doesn't get a moment of strength, and that kind of upsets me.
her sitting on the porch, kind of reading, and Michael comes in for like the 4th time, and that week at like in the afternoon, and he hasn't been to bed yet, and she goes, "Hi, are we friends?" It was such a
Yeah.
lovely mother thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So it's a shame she didn't get a moment to.
It is. I did
to-
write that down.
of strength
It was
in that.
I didn't like that. Diane Weiss.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's okay.
I don't want to end on a negative.
Fair deal.
Oh, that's not a good
Let's
thing.
let's end on positive.
What
else
funny
have I
shit got? Do you know what I want to talk about, actually?
Oh, go on.
Let's talk about the fucking campfire massacre.
The actual harsh bit of gore.
Yeah, but do you know what it gave me reminiscent vibes of?
Oh, go on.
The massacre From Dusk Till Dawn. I got similar.
Oh, really?
Similar
Yeah, it was
vibes,
a bit trashy.
The way it would kind
Yeah.
of cut to like
Just a flash of
just
blood
a flash of,
coming
and
out.
I feel like there's a bit where he's scalping somebody.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Because it
I was
went
like,
so quickly. I
whoa.
was like, did I just
See someone
did I
get
actually
scalped?
see that?
Yeah.
Is he grabbing someone by the fucking scalp?
Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, and it just with all the red neon and the quickness of it and
the fire, and then throwing the bodies on the fire.
and the way the
and-
blood spurted. I got From Dusk Till Dawn vibes from
Yeah,
it, and I was
nice.
kind of like, this is
Okay.
cool. This is really effective, and it's a great little passage, and I love that it comes from. We've been doing all the kind of the teen things. We've been hanging out and kind of testing each other, and it's been a bit kind of we're all really cool with our hair, and you know, we did the thing on the train tracks where we we all hung up the thing.
I love that bit.
And then it's like we're all hanging in the tree, and it's just like, well, what are we doing here? Well, we're about to tear this joint up.
We're about to show you what's what.
So it actually, I think it's a really
It's
great
nice.
moment because it turns it up, like really turns it up.
And especially to Aerosmith in the background. I mean, come on. It's a little bit of a
Aerosmith
misstep.
is it the Aerosmith and Run DMC,
It
or
is
is it
Run
just
D-
Run DMC?
No, it's Run DMC.
Was it prior their remix?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird choice of
It
choice
is
of
a bit of a weird
But I
choice,
think
isn't it?
That jarring kind of feel, I think, works in its favour.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, I do love that bit.
Yeah,
I do love that bit.
That might be my favourite little sequence, I think.
Okay, Ty. So if you did want to buy a wall clock of the 80s,
Yes.
it's $170.
Fuck off. Are you kidding me?
Not shitting you at all.
You are kidding me.
And the designs now are not nearly as close to what yours sounded like.
I need to go to my childhood home.
Yep.
I need to get that.
Do you still have it?
Well, maybe. Who knows?
My mum threw out everything. Do you know
Well,
that?
we've got
My
a bunch of stuff.
Do you know this? Okay, ready for this? This
Yeah.
is a little bit of an insight. My mum... Okay, so I grew up playing with He-Mans.
I've got.
Did
my
you have
He-Mans
He-Mans?
still,
Right.
yeah.
I had He-Mans. I had Battle Cat. I had both Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. I had
Cool.
all Skeletor, everything.
Yeah, nice.
Mum threw the whole thing away. Not only that, just a cherry on top. Do you remember Nightmare, the board game that you put the VHS in?
You had Nightmare.
I had Nightmare and the sequel.
Oh, a sequel. I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, the zombie with the zombie. It was a lot more playful.
Okay, sure. Have you heard of a movie called Beyond the Gates? Horror movie.
Oh
which
yes, I had that. They take
they
I saw
take
that
the whole horror board game.
horror board
concept.
game with the VHS. Yeah.
Well worth watching.
Is it? Is it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Is it really?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, I kind
It's
of
fun.
wanted to not
If-
watch it just
if-
because I didn't want to ruin the kind of cool nostalgia I have with
No, it
board games and
very
video
much
VHS.
taps into the nostalgic value
Oh,
of it.
that's
It's I don't think it would be anywhere near as effective if you didn't have that association.
Yeah,
But because
yeah.
we do have it, and it was such
it's
a big,
literally for us.
it was the most
Yeah.
exciting thing to exist around that time. Like
I
you
remember-
had people, a board game that spoke to you while you played it.
That is full, and you had to speak to it.
Yeah.
Not that it listened to you at all.
No, of course not.
Do you know what was funny? So when I started to really enjoy going to the video store, I wasn't working there. I was still in primary school at this point. Nightmare, the board game, you could hire from the video store
No shit.
in my town.
Cool.
Yeah. How cool was that?
That's great.
How rad was
Did
that?
it come with like? Did you get the board and everything as well?
Yeah,
And-
you got the whole. No, you got the whole thing.
So would you find like other people's scorecards and stuff?
yeah.
That's terrifying.
How rad is that?
That's pretty cool. That'd be weird. I'd be looking at other people's scorecards.
$170 for a wall clock.
Fucking man. Seriously. And this is why I'm a hoarder, right? This is why I get shit for all the stuff that I have, and I'm like, do you know what? In 10 years, it's gonna be like the wall clock. We're gonna,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, that
Yeah.
piece of shit thing that you think is worth nothing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, you can't throw that out. It's because it might be worth 4 times its value in 10 years.
Exactly. So this is just from Swatch website, right?
Oh yeah.
But looking on eBay, if you were to want an original 80s one, Tyson,
Yeah.
you're looking at $230
Jesus Christ.
from the 80s.
I really
With
hope we've
their
still got them at
original,
home.
like, the black with the red face and the white line in the middle. Do you remember that one?
Turn your laptop around so I can see. Oh,
Do you remember that?
All right.
Because a friend of mine had that one.
Yeah,
I
cool.
love how everyone had these.
Yeah. My housemates were thrilled that I had owned one. They thought they thought it was really cool.
Yeah. You've got street cred,
Cool.
Tys. You have so much street cred.
Quotes.
It's coming out.
I reckon that's going to wrap us up, man. Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
I think that was just a bit of a love fest, but that's great because it is worth it. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch this movie.
Yeah, watch this movie. Do me a favor though. Do you get this? This is with music as well as film.
Yeah.
There are certain times where I watch sort of movies and seasons.
Sure.
Lost Boys is a summer movie for me.
Oh, interesting.
I kind of have to watch it in a little bit more warmth. I can't watch it in
that's really strange. No, I don't have that
you don't
vibe
get that at all?
No.
Do you get that with music?
I get that with music, yeah, definitely.
So I can only listen to Joy Division in the midwinter.
Okay, no, that's fair.
It needs to be freezing for me.
Yeah, I've
Joy
definitely
Division.
got summer tracks, and I don't know if I've got winter tracks. I've definitely got summer tracks, though. Summer albums and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that for movies. That's really interesting. I wonder if I'd...
Winter tracks, man.
I wonder if I maybe do,
me?
and I am just not aware of it.
You're just not aware of it? Yeah.
I've never thought consciously about it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's going to wrap us up.
All right, Tys.
All right, well, we're going to cross some streams.
Let's cross some streams.
Cross some streams.
Cross some streams.
All right, let's do that. Who wants to go first? You? Me?
You go first.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll go first. Stan.
Short to the point.
Short and to the point.
Here
Get
we go.
Stan.
Stan.
If you don't have it.
Get Stan.
Stan's really good.
Get Stan.
Stan's got a heap of stuff.
It's got way more stuff than Netflix.
Just recently added is a really, really sweet comedy from 2011. I mean sweet, not like sweet. I mean like sweet, as in like with a really warm heart, despite what you think
sweet
it might
as
be.
In sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The ice hockey comedy Goon, starring Sean William Scott and Liev Schreiber.
I still haven't seen this.
Okay, so this movie is Sean William Scott, Stifler.
Yep.
Of Stifler fame.
Of Stifler's mom fame.
Exactly. Plays a kind of simple guy. Not. He just has, he's
a Forrest Gump.
Yeah, maybe not quite.
Right.
I
He's
don't
a few
think
steps up.
there's not a definable disability.
Okay.
But he's simple.
Sure.
He's a few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Right.
He's a bouncer and finds that he's quite good at taking a punch and also giving a punch.
Right.
And ends up playing as like the enforcer on an ice hockey team.
What's an enforcer?
Now, ice hockey is a really interesting sport because they actually have people on the team whose main job it is
to knock people out.
To take people out.
Really?
Yeah.
This is why
So they drop the gloves, they fuck up somebody, and then they go into the sin bin, and that's their job.
That's awesome.
So he becomes one of them.
That is awesome.
And he quickly gains notoriety as being very good at it. And Liev Schreiber is like the old stalwart of the enforcers in the league. And so there is this mythical coming together of the two of them when they finally get to meet and fight.
I have to see this movie now.
But it is like that sounds kind of like a mean movie.
Yeah.
It is just got such a beautiful heart, this movie. It is so warm. And Sean William Scott, it's my favorite Sean William Scott performance by far.
Wow, okay.
I really like him in Role Models too.
I like Role Models. I was going to say
because that is also a film that is surprisingly heartwarming.
I love that.
It's beautiful. But yeah, this is my favorite performance of his. Liev Schreiber is just so funny in it. I think it was written by Jay Baruchel. Baruchel. I can never say his name. I think he wrote it.
Wow.
And he's actually directing the sequel that's coming soon. And he's in it as a side character. He's like Sean William Scott's best friend.
Right.
And very funny. He gets to do his little weedy guy shtick where he just kind of runs around being funny.
He did write it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did write it? Yeah. It's a Canadian film.
Last of the Enforcers.
Last of the Enforcers, yeah. Which I can't wait for. I'm really excited for. So watch this. It's the kind of thing you'll breeze past when you see it on one of these things. You'll just be like, Sean William Scott, ice hockey.
Yeah. That's what I've done every time.
It's wonderful, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's very funny.
It looks like, what was the wrestling movie that came out ages ago with David Arquette?
Oh, play it to the bone.
No, that was boxing, and it was Woody Harrelson and
Antonio Banderas. Ready to Rumble.
There you
with
go.
Scott Kahn.
Yes, that's the one.
And
So it Goon to me looks like that.
I never saw Ready to Rumble. So
neither have I.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but get on it. It's really great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Okay. I'm going very deep into the dark with mine. It's
deep
it's
and dark.
from Stan. I love the dark. I really do. It's from Stan. If you haven't seen, everyone's seen this movie.
Sure.
This is to the people who haven't seen this movie. If it's called Nightcrawler, came out 2014.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, Tyson.
This is for me. This
really?
is for me. Yeah, I've seen it. It's popped up. I added it to my list because I was really keen to watch it.
Wow.
I really like Jake Gyllenhaal. I like everything about it. Tony Gilroy, I think.
Yeah, man. Dan Gilroy.
Dan Gilroy, not
Dan
Tony Gilroy. It's
Gilroy.
Tony
Yeah,
Gilroy.
Dan
Tony
Gilroy.
Gilroy is the other one. Tony Gilroy.
But yeah, anyway, while Tyson looks up Tony Gilroy, it's about he's legitimately a psychopath, and he's just looking for something to do, really. And it goes into the world of if it's the opposite end of Spotlight. If Spotlight is what journalism is meant to be in all of its glory, Nightcrawler is what journalism ends up being at the bottom end of just the disgusting part of what journalism can be. So in all of that, it's just Jake Gyllenhaal trying to make it just trying to get almost like likes or just everyone liking what he's doing, and he runs around with a video camera but almost ambulance chases. It's good. It's awesome. It goes in very, very deep and very, very dark places that sometimes is very hard to watch. Which really just pulls me. That pulls me in. If you describe a film that does that, I'm in.
Most of what I'd heard about it was that it was the most. It caused the most kind of talk from people when Jake Gyllenhaal didn't get nominated for Best Actor. That was the most backlash that I heard.
Really?
For that year was that people were amazed that didn't get
him a
nomination.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know.
Well, there you go.
It's awesome. It's you have to see this movie.
Yeah, I believe I have assumed Tony Gilroy and Dan Gilroy to be the same person for a very long time.
Well, there you go.
And it's nice to know that they are separate people.
So what did Tony Gilroy do?
Tony Gilroy wrote and directed Michael Clayton and Duplicity, and he's written a whole bunch of stuff. But Michael Clayton is a killer movie. And I actually just thought that this was the same guy. I thought Dan Gilroy was the same guy.
Right.
I know. But they are different guys.
Okay.
They just happen to have the same last name. I believe they're brothers.
Yeah, man. And Dan Gilroy is more of a writer. He's done...
yes, this was his only...
Legacy,
Nightcrawler's his directing debut.
Yeah, and he's got another film that is filming now called Inner City.
There you go.
See it. It's on Stan. Nightcrawler. Straight at you, Tys.
So that's
Watch
a
a
double
sucker.
feature. If there ever was one, what order should they watch it in? Let's watch Nightcrawler first.
Yep.
So you're really bummed out, and it's really depressing.
Sure.
But you really appreciate that you've seen a good fucking weighty film.
Yep.
And then you chill out, and you have a drink, and you watch Goon, and you enjoy yourself.
That sounds good.
And then you go to bed happy.
Amazing.
And you've seen two great movies.
To be honest, if you have that much time on your hands...
Holy shit, I envy you.
Fuck,
Seriously.
I hate you.
God, I wish I could do a double feature in a night. Wouldn't that be amazing?
I do it me and my wife do it
on
sometimes.
the weekends sometimes.
Yeah, weekends, yeah.
But usually my double feature, I need to start at 4.
Oh, yeah,
because
man.
I can't do an 8
break,
p.m. and then a 10:30.
break for dinner.
I can't do that shit anymore.
I have too many rules. My wife hates my rules. I can't eat dinner and watch a film.
That is 100% me.
Really?
Yeah.
She hates me for it.
We sit down for dinner.
I know she hates me for it.
Yeah.
She's like, really? We can't just put... You've seen it a million times. I'm like, babe.
No. We'll just watch some shitty television while I have some dinner, and then we'll...
Yes, that is me.
We'll start.
Oh, that is
100%.
totally me.
All right, well...
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nick Tyson Videotape.
That was episode 19. In the can. Track us down on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Gmail us, Nick Tyson Videotape at... Let me say that again.
Hey, videotape.
Videotape.
We're going to get some videotape.
Nick, Tys and Videotape at gmail.com.
That's it. If you want to be featured in our mailbag section, we're going to have a
Absolutely.
chunky mailbag next week. It's going to be exciting.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I'd skip it for this week.
Rad.
We're
like
going to
it.
have it because I like
I like
chunky mailbags.
me.
Yeah.
I like you surprising me.
But if you would like to be featured on our mailbag section, that's where you email us.
That's true.
Tweet us.
Sure.
Right on our Facebook wall. I love how people are engaging in
Yeah,
when
man.
we post stuff.
Yep.
People are getting involved in the conversation. Don't be afraid to come and say hi. Jump on Facebook, like the page, and just come and say hi and just say, hey, man, we like what you're doing.
Or if you know people that like movies, share our page with those people.
That's it.
Invite them to it.
And say, hey, you like movies? Come listen to this shit.
You like Nick.
Yeah.
You like Tys.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
They don't know us, but
It's not the point.
I assume they will like us. That's
They
what we
will.
do. Yes.
As if you can like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, next week, man.
Ooh,
It's pretty exciting. So we've had
intense.
it's on our list. We've had Everything Old Is New Again.
Yep.
We've had our twin movie special.
Yep.
We
Those are our segments.
well there are special episodes when
Sure.
we want to kind of tackle something that we're going to bring up a lot. You're going to see we're going to be returning. That's why we've got volumes on those. We're going to be
That's true.
returning those. Another one that we're going to be doing is when we look at our superhero films, which is obviously something very close to us.
Dear to us, yeah.
It's
We literally could talk about this.
I feel like, is it our
All
favorite
day?
genre of film? I guess probably.
I grew up reading comics, and
Yeah, me too.
One of my first movies was our favorite, which will be the 100th episode of Nick Tys and Videotape.
If we make it to 100,
If we make
that
it
was
to
going to be a
100,
damn special episode.
it's going to be
We're going to get guests in, and we're going to be talking about a hell of a movie. But
Yeah.
until we get to that point, we thought we'd start off. So instead of trying to do like we're going to do all the Marvels in order, all the
Yeah,
DCs in
we're
order,
not doing
we're not
that.
going to do that.
We're
We're
not gonna
going
do
to
that.
just say that each time we attack a superhero film, it's going
Sure.
to fall under the banner of these of whatever we decide to call it.
Yep,
Stay tuned for next week so we have a week to think of the name.
Shit.
Quick, get creative. Hey, if anyone's got a really clever name for our superhero show,
Please
tweet, Facebook,
email
email, let us know, because if it's clever, we'll use it.
superhero puns. Go for it.
Superhero puns, or, like a really great quote from one of the movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're not going to do them in order. We're actually just going to pick random movies out of the hat.
And this is up there for me. This is
up there for me too. This is a really good one.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. We're going to be looking at the second of the
Tim
Tim Burton
Burton's
Batman films.
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Tys, this is a big one.
Yeah, so grab out your old copy of Batman Returns, give it a watch.
Or not, just come in fresh and listen to us talk about it.
I could talk about it without even
Seriously,
watching it.
yeah,
But I am
we
going to watch
could.
it again because I haven't cracked out that Blu-ray since I bought it. So that's going to be
Oh,
fun.
really?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that.
jeez.
And yeah, tune in next week as we talk of Batman Returns.
Batman Returns, people. We shall see you then.
We shall see you, Nick.
Bye, Tys.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.